Yeah, it's gonna be,
medics.
What
We've not even spoken about this yet, have we?
has happened? Right, so it's
Has
either
medics got it wrong, or have we got the map bans wrong?
see, it's either medics got it wrong or it's the other way around.
I don't think medics makes mistakes.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, the teams seem happy at this stage. Medics is telling me that you got theme park. You know, we
I don't
can't
know.
blame medics.
I don't know.
He's a tier 1 observer. He doesn't make mistakes.
I mean, I've seen him make mistakes. I definitely have seen him make mistakes. He's not an untouchable god as everyone thinks. I've seen him at his weak points. I've seen him.
Come on, Demo, gas him up a little bit.
He's trying to tell us lies. It's not lies. You can't handle the truth.
Well, we're on theme park, everybody. So this has been a, it's been a rocky start, I think, between dodgy rosters and weird map bans. But we're throwing in welcome to CCS. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got White Tigers versus RENJICHIMU. Very fun name to say. I'm going to enjoy saying that one and tripping up over it, no doubt, a couple of times in the evening. And we're going to theme park, not consular, as we were led to believe. Fairly standard bans coming in there, and I think I'm speaking for both of us here, Demo, when I'm saying I'm not too sure what we are to expect. There's a couple of names that I've recognised. There's a few that have really sort of twigged an old memory in the back of my mind from previous CCS seasons and similar, and I'm looking really there toward Flutchwagon and Wino, but obviously it doesn't look Wino. It doesn't look like Wino is playing. It's actually going to be oh, it is Wino.
Yeah,
very unpronounceable.
There's a schla.
There's a lot in front of that. We're going to kill out Wino.
There's Jay from Renji. I know Jay probably the best out of them. Yeah, I've played against him quite a lot of times, so I kind of know what he's about. In terms of White Tigers lineup, yeah, not a lot that I can really go off. So I am interested to see. Already looking at their lineup, I think that's fairly standard. That's your go-to. Everyone keep in mind that this is still, pre-Neon Dawn. This is without the new changes. The meta is still very much 20 seconds with the utility dump, so that's what we're going to be seeing until those new changes do come in. And, it's going to be at least a month before they actually do get finally implemented into the main build, so we're going to be playing with, the old stuff to say for quite a while.
Let's jump on into this now. Theme park, and we are looking at a throne room defense. Pretty standard stuff, it is fair to say. Often seen as a good sight on theme park, especially as it can be quite difficult to brute force your way in as an attacker. Interestingly, no bandit being brought. Instead, we're going to be opting for mute jam, on Shenji there. It looks as though we're setting up for a little bit of a roam game. We've got some cameras that are going to provide some information. Demo, how surprised are you in the level of 1-2 shocked that 6ix9ine is actually playing Ashe?
God, 6ix9ine.
I mean, if I had to put money on it, if I had to put money on which operator I would expect someone with the name 6ix9ine to be playing, it would be Ashe.
I mean, I would have thought more of, like a rat operator, perhaps.
Ooh. Maybe like I think Bandit went to jail, didn't he?
Bandit, he did time in his little operator video. He said that he had to do a lot of things. He was part of a gang as well.
Maybe that's his calling. Maybe we'll see that when we get over onto defense.
God, 6ix9ine. Why do you think he chose the name 6ix9ine?
Is this a bad joke, or?
I don't know. I really don't. Was it pre or after he made the name? Who knows?
I mean, apparently he's got 69 tattoos, so do you think that he just couldn't get to the 70th because the pain was just too much at that point?
It's a good theory. Always open for theories. But, theme park. We'll go downstairs to Armory and Throne, which I think is expected. There's nothing really too concerning for me. The way they're holding upstairs has become a lot more of a common thing. I mean, whenever Theme Park was first introduced, nobody tried to hold upstairs. They just kind of gave the attackers complete free range of what they wanted to do above. But now defenders realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that because it means that we can't play in a bomb site. So, yeah, obviously you want to be here to just try and waste as much time as you can. Very common rotation out on towards the catwalk. You'll see a lot of teams play that. But yeah, overall, pretty standard, I think, for Renji to set up this way. And I mean, fair play to White Tigers. They've got good pacing. You know, a minute to go. They've almost taken control, and there's 6ix9ine with the first kill, just peeking onto site door and gets the first blood.
Excuse me, it's a nice opening kill as well. Onto Jay, smoke getting taken out there, nice and early on. No value really seen from the gas canisters. However, you're going to see a response. A little bit of a C4 from below is going to be enough to remove Winnow, and of course the hard breacher that goes along with it. Still got a little bit of hope in the hands of Nemo. But also looking for that side control and really just looking to pinch and pressure. CCS there, still getting spotted outside of statue door, and well, he's going to get taken out. There's a quick 2 kills there, going to fly in for Renji. That is going to do a lot to secure the round. This is an important gunfight that is going to go in the White Tigers' favor. Although careless swing on into sight could be all it takes for Renji to pick up that first round.
Well, Shenji on Renji goes pretty big. That's a good kill there to finish it off. And yeah, a little bit worrisome for Renji. You know, losing that first blood, losing their upstairs control, but no, they pulled it back very well. It just seemed to be the White Tigers, their final execution on the site, little bit muddled. I mean, granted, looking at the bans, Maverick Thatcher, that's really tough for attackers to get through those reinforced walls. You're gonna have to try and go for like some heavy nade spam to try and eliminate, you know, bandits or kites that may be playing there, but obviously, whenever Jaeger is still on the board, you have ADSs that you can stack up, and it's very tough. Again, just that utility meta, you have to burn through so much. And, you know, even if you do burn through the wall, think of how much utility you've lost. You know, if you have to burn through, let's say, 6 ADSs, you have to burn through then the bandits, you know, possibly 2 kites as well. So much that the attackers have to go against. And yeah, it is tough for the attacking side. Knowing Theme Park, probably whenever we see the split, it'll probably mirror what one team has done to the other.
Yeah, it is a map that you really can start to streak rounds on the defense on. A lot of potential for, as you say, Demo, really making things difficult. Operator bans falling in, not really favouring the attackers all too much, but still leaving it possible. You know, let's not forget, we didn't see RENJICHIMU actually bringing a bandit or a Cade to hold downstairs, so I think there could have been a little bit more potential to execute onto site, but it requires that bit more coordination on the side of the attack, and wasn't really something we saw from White Tigers, especially losing out the Hibana over there on the roam on the top floor. It was a bit of a nail in the coffin almost at that point. Obviously with Ace's reduced gadget now, it's not as easy to get that site accessed.
One thing about Theme Park is whenever it was first introduced, you know, there was always a lot of, you know, if, buts, and maybes. Is this going to be a good comp map? I mean, if you look at the old Theme Park, it wasn't anything to really shout about. I personally was not a big fan of the old Theme Park. So, you know, having the rework and it automatically gets put into the competitive pool was a very big shock and surprise to a lot of people. And I think for most people, they were scared, you know, how are we going to play this? It wasn't a good map before, does that mean it's a good map now? But as we've seen, I mean, Theme Park, it is a pretty easy map to play. Most of the attacks all stem from one area, and it's always from cache. That's the go-to. You know, talking to people, you always push from cache. Always, always, always. That's your #1 go-to for this map. If you're attacking, go from cache side. It's the easiest to lock down. You can't hold cache as a room on its own. It's too tough. You have a window you can get cut off by. You have, you know, obviously the door to the balcony. Very tough to hold. Once you take control of that cache side, everything opens up for you.
Bomb located by attackers.
Opening blood at this time in favor of the defenders.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
As the White Tigers once again really struggling to make that push. Got a little bit of control over on the rappel, and it's as though Navarre is looking to maybe drop down the hatch, but still a very tentative approach here. Bit of a bold entry there from Winnow, obviously. Having had it droned out ahead of him, he knows he's relatively safe, but even then, you don't really want to be losing out on your hard breacher. It hurt them a lot in the previous round, and the only thing that's similar will happen here if history repeats itself.
C4, and that's a nice pick from Zeosh just to get them back into it. Oh wait, hold on a minute. I was watching the wrong stream. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ollie, where am I? I'm lost.
Toro's got a double kill now, as he's managed to take
I'm on the wrong
Winnow.
tab. I'm on the wrong tab. I'm a little bit delayed in that tab. I'm back onto it, so we're all good. 3v5.
You can't cast off the Twitch stream demo.
Yes,
it just doesn't work. I don't know why. It's just I've never been able to make it work for myself. Clutch is going to be pushing on in quite aggressively there, but he's going to get taken down as all the kills have gone in the favor of Renji. Up until that point, 6ix9ine and VAR going to be grabbing one back apiece. With 30 seconds left, is it going to be enough? They're on a 3 versus 2, and this time Jay is still alive with those toxic Babe canisters. He's got one left. Swing onto the corner. Navarre picks that kill onto Shenji. That was much needed at that point from the White Tigers, but as the clock ticks down, it is only a matter of time. Another swing for 6ix9ine as he secures a double. It's now all down to Jay. He's got a lot to do in this 5 seconds. Needs to keep himself alive as that diffuser is going to start to be confirmed. Swings round onto the corner. Can he win out onto the gunfight? Finds one. Can he find the second? He throws a grenade. What is he doing? 6ix9ine comes off the diffuser and the White Tigers. They're going to pick up the round.
What? Right. So first off, he could have just shot the Ash and didn't have to kill the sledge, but then he killed the sledge, ran out of ammo in the SMG, tried then to throw a smoke grenade instead of shotgunning him with his primary. So there's 2 things that we can analyze from that. It's either that false communication from the team, or he had no ammo in his shotgun because he used it for destructibility.
What about the third option of panic?
Potential?
Has panic set in?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
There's a lot on the line. It's a clutch situation. You're a smoke. You know, you've not got a lot of health. What are you going to do? You've got to win the gunfight onto the sledge. You don't have to confirm the kill onto the sledge as much as you really need to get that Ash and stop the diffuser being going down.
Strange. Indeed. Very strange. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know where to go for this one. But that is the first round for White Tigers. And they'll take it, you know, no matter what. Even though it may not have been a round that they should have won, they still won it. They'll take it. They'll take anything they can. And a game like Siege, which I think for especially in this level of competition, it's scrappy. You know, it's a real fight for a lot of teams, and any round you can get, it doesn't matter how you won it as long as you did. You know, it could be a massive misplay from the team. Do you care? No, of course they don't. They're taking the round.
Exactly that, Demo. You know, White Tigers, they're not going to be dwelling on, you know, the slow push and the fact that they lost a lot of opening bloods without getting the trade. They're going to be thinking, you know what, we won that round, and that mental game is going to carry them through. You know, if you're on the side of Renji, you're going to be sat there thinking, you know, guys, coming out, we should have really came away with another round there and started to streak, because one round on the defense really could be all it takes in this matchup on Theme Park. It's a difficult map to attack onto, and especially if the teams haven't got that level of execution and coordination that is necessary. 1 or 2 clutch rounds on the attack could really be all it takes to take the map.
Yeah, I think Theme Park is a very easy setup. Like I said, taking from cache is pretty standard. It's pretty easy. There's a lot of avenues that you can attack from, but the execution of actually getting into the bomb planting, you know, it's very rare we would see a diffuser be planted. Like, especially in a big map where you think, oh yes, very strat heavy, where you have a lot of, you know, setup involved, and then you finally execute. You know, it's more or less all about the kills, I find. You know, there's very rare frequencies where teams will plant the diffuser, mostly because there is such a long setup time. You don't have a lot of time necessarily to get the plant down. You're really just fishing for kills at that stage.
Exactly. You know, we saw the diffuser going down with 5 seconds left, and it's an Ash that's planting it. You know, that just smacks of desperation at that point, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're in a position to be able to do so. But as you say, it was never the plan all along to have 6ix9ine putting that diffuser down with 5 seconds left. Zenji going to throw out the C4 there as Goyo Shield going to get destroyed. C4 either didn't catch or didn't get detonated. There's still a little bit of pressure downstairs to be dealt with. I think we've maybe seen some Iana action there as a bit of drone work has gone through and perfectly found a kill for Winnow. Zeosh getting taken out of the game. Very startled by the swing there, but really should have seen the Prisma coming down the stairs a little bit earlier.
Iana's a nice operator. If you need some kind of flex operator that can help you with, you know, the main entry, and I think for, again, Theme Park, it's all about that setup, having those unlimited drones, essentially, to give that information, just allows your team to explode into these areas, which is exactly what Sledge has done. Pushed in towards that initiation room, opened up that first kill. The other defender is scurried away back into the bomb site, and they have their control. But again, Ollie, look at the time, 30 seconds. It's going to be a tough execution.
Tough execute again as a nade comes in perfectly cooked, and well, Jay, he gets caught on the box. He's going to get taken out. 4 versus 2 now. Shotgun at close range can deal some damage, but it's going to put Navarre on a triple kill as he swings and wins that engagement. 3 versus 1 now, and well, it was getting a very tight and enclosed space for Notorious. He's going to get taken out good and proper by Flutch. As the final kill swings in, and White Tigers start to chain some rounds together.
As expected, just kills, no diffuser ever in the mind of White Tigers. 2-1 the scoreline. Attackers taking the lead, surprising on a defender-sided map. But we do go back down to the bomb site that they have only one, and that is the Armory and the Throne Room. Wonder what White Tigers are going to change up. Granted, this is the toughest bomb site. Just thinking back about what they kind of missed out on, I think a little bit quicker on the upstairs clear out. There isn't too many variations of holding upstairs that I think defenders can really go for. It's usually just a shield on initiation, a shield and vault. You have 2 rotates to allow your defenders to come back. That's pretty much it. One thing I do like is a good strategy that you can do is if teams are holding above in towards that cash room and initiation side, all you do is you send one lone person towards Cafe side, like an Ash. Have your Ash come in from Cafe, and they can cut off the rotation as the person from Vault tries to fall back. Very sneaky play that does actually catch a lot of people by surprise.
Go get him, mate.
Round number 4 kicking off ever so shortly.
10
Into the
seconds
final
to go.
few seconds of the prep phase. Big upstairs hold
5
again
seconds left.
for Renji. It didn't do them too
Attackers
bad
are
in the
moving out
first
to
round. They were able
locate a
to
bomb and
waste a
defuse
lot
it.
of time upstairs, and they were also able to, pick off some decent kills, which really was the, really was the undoing of White Tigers. They just lost quite a lot of men early on, and of course losing the Hibana as well. I think they want to be a little bit more careful with that and have more of a strategy around that hard breach, especially in this round, seeing as they are only bringing Nemo on that ace, really putting a lot of pressure on those shoulders to gain that access into sight, because you can clear out top floor, but it's at what cost? Is that going to take you a large portion of the round, or a large portion of your hit points, or even man count to get done, and then you've still got to execute and still got to make entrance onto what could potentially at that point be single doorways and single windows.
6-9 burning away some ADSs, and now he's poised and ready to push in towards that vault and clear out that single man. Just waiting now to see where they want to go. I mean, I think for 6-9, I think he'll be very, very strong whenever he does get those ADSs cleared. It allows, for the nades, I think, more than anything from Iana. Like, that's what, and ideally, they want to bring in. That's your entry as well. So you have the flashbangs go in, nades go in, bang. Easy kill.
Yeah, and it, of course, frees Sledge up there as well for his nades to be used on either
There you
utility
go.
or elsewhere. But that's a classic example of a beautiful kill that was set up there by the White Tigers. The nade really pushing Geosh out of position, and it has allowed 6-9 again to swing on through. Winnow picked up the first one, but there's a lot of top floor control gained there, especially with Flutch over inside of Cafe. And it really is now just a waiting game, allowing Winnow to get those Ianas out there and to really have a good scan, check every nook and cranny, along with some drone work as well. It really is going to provide them a fuller picture. Shenji, he's got a bit of a tough job. He's likely to not get out of this situation alive.
How has he managed to slip past and nobody knew he was in here? But he misses 2 shotguns, and he's been punished for it. That could have been a massive play to really swing it into Renji's favor, but no, just not the case.
Yeah, bit of a tough one there. If you're going to be in that position, you really need to be trying to get a kill. I'm not sure if he still had a C4 in his pocket either, but again, a good loss of utility there for Renji. And White Tigers, whilst they've done a lot of the hard work, it is almost getting easier from here on out. Nemo finds a kill over onto Notorious, and he's going to leave Jash all on his own as the smoke. 13 seconds remaining. He isn't even going to get past the first. It's going to be a flawless round for the White Tigers. It's 6-9, swings his way on through split, finds that final kill.
Yeah, flawless for Tigers. just say the difference in how they played that round compared to last. They were quicker. They knew what utility they needed to burn. Obviously, we have to highlight that Iana nade, getting them in nice and quick. Nades, especially whenever you know that there is, you know, these kind of upstairs hold for Theme Park, and there's these set positions, like I mentioned, you can only really play in one of two areas above. It's very easy just to predict a nade. Little bit surprising that walls upstairs weren't reinforced. That's another thing. I thought they possibly would have reinforced the walls in initiation, would have gave, you know, the players of RENJICHIMU a little bit more cover and safety to fall back onto. Obviously, the Wamai ban is something we have to highlight, and this is why it's, I know, a very heavy nade lineup, is because you know there's only going to be 6 ADSs that's stopping you. You have flashbangs and Ash. Obviously, Sophia can burn through some stuff on her own. Then you have 4 nades that you can just use and abuse.
And that's really what White Tigers are doing. A lot of the kills are being set up off the back of grenades, if not the grenade finding the kill itself as well. And we've got a bit of an update on the map picks. Currently in Theme Park, as you can see, that's actually a White Tigers map pick, which does make a lot of sense. After that first shaky round at the start, they've seemed to start chaining some rounds together on attack. Cafe, however, that is going to be a pick for Renji. Going it all down on Oregon if we can get
left before insertion. 5 seconds to go.
Looking at the Doc as well, I see Doc come into the fray of things. Always a niche operator pick. I think on certain maps and certain bomb sites, he definitely has his, you know, his potential of being a very strong operator. I look at Clubhouse, I look at Top Catwalk being a very strong area for him. Thinking about where he may play for this bomb site, Vault would be the only one that comes to mind. You know, it's a very high traffic area for nades. You know, we've seen 6ix9ine burn for the ADSs and then a nade gets swung in. So I could definitely see that being the same case, but it looks to me they're still playing their Legion. Where is their Doc playing? If he's not there, where else would he be? Cafe? But, I mean, have they really been pushing Cafe that hard? I wouldn't say so.
I think Flutch has been entering through Cafe on the quiet. But as you say, is it something that's providing that much value for White Tigers? It seems as though Renji are going for quite a big change this round, bringing the Legion and the Doc, two operators that I don't believe we've seen just as of yet. They're obviously needing to try something different because whatever they're doing at the moment isn't really working too well for them.
Nemo, a couple of issues with the wall that he's tried to open up with the Ace. This is something that happens from time to time with Ace, where the wall doesn't get entirely open. It leaves just a strip behind, which is a little bit annoying, I'm sure, for many teams to play with. But they don't really care, as they still open up with the first kill nonetheless. So we know he's there with that Iana. Once again, I think that Iana pick has been very strong, for not only just for that nade potential that we've mentioned, but just the information. Look, the Iana drone goes in and straight onto it. Flutchwagon, he's on board. He's ready to go.
Even going to find a kill for his troubles, as well as Toro. He's inside and he's looking to try and fight for his life now, as the pressure really is going to start to mount. Once again, White Tigers in a really good position where they've managed to pick up a couple of opening kills and not get traded out. Really keeping themselves alive, and it's doing them a good number, especially with their style of execution at the moment. Entering the final 40 seconds, and they're still trying to gain that access onto site, but they've done a very good job in getting the men down early. We know they're going to find an easy kill onto Ziosh, as it's almost going to be the nail in the coffin now. There's going to be a lot of work to do for poor old Shenji. Last man standing, and another flawless round for White Tigers. Back to back now, really starting to chain things together.
Yeah, that is a lot of morale now for White Tigers. One flawless round is hard enough, but back to back, yeah, you are pulling big punches in this match. And oh, I just don't know really where it's going wrong for Renji. I mean, they have the correct operators, I think, to make it successful. But there hasn't been the synergy. You know, where have been the trades? One person dies, and there's been nobody to answer. Everyone's just a little bit sleepy for Renji, which I would have thought, looking at the way that their team was playing in the qualifiers, you know, they're very aggressive. They're not afraid to get into the mix of things. And for them to not try and go hungry for kills and trying to get that man advantage back is very surprising.
Yeah, Renji really needs to come up with a system for, getting that trade-off. If they're going to be losing somebody early through to, good drone work, nice information gain on the side of White Tigers, which is essentially what it is. We're seeing Winnow using the Iana to great effect, really singling out people to gain quick, cheap kills onto for very little cost to the attackers, and then there's some good drone work going on in conjunction with that. The nades that we've already spoken about, Demo, it's all culminating in nice early man advantages for White Tigers, and it really is starting to make these defenders suffer. I'd like to see them playing a little bit more of, maybe a duo roam game, or a little bit, having a bit of a buddy, and just not really letting themselves get picked off one at a time.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So Bombs is upstairs, and we're seeing a lot of them already on the roam game. Not necessarily an offsite hold with utility, but just, I think, a very loose roam game, it seems to be. Whenever I see a bandit out and about, then I think, okay, they're out hungry for kills. They just want to change up their playstyle entirely, and... oh, bit of shots being fired in. Takes, what's that, like 1 HP damage on the Iana? Never seen that
strange,
before.
Wasn't it? I think the blood splatter made it look a little bit worse than it was, but it seems as though Navarra's come off a little bit worse in that opening engagement. Not sure if it was just some cheeky window shots from the guys at Renji really trying to make something happen. 6ix9ine's on a bit of a tear at the minute as well. For an entry to be going 6-1, that's providing a lot of value to White Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, I think the combination with having a good entry plus Iana is a very strong aspect to your team. I think they've been playing off it very well. Their information game has been extremely strong. They haven't let... well, I say that. There was a little bit of a mishap in the bathroom with the mute that one round, but then again, they don't really care because he missed the shots and he killed him anyway, so... that's always a thing. I mean, just look at the way they're sweeping through. I mean, there's utility place and initiation, Melusi trap there, but nobody playing with the Melusi trap. Waste of utility in my eyes. So yeah, I don't know, Renji just putting stuff in areas for the sake of putting stuff in areas, I suppose.
It certainly seems to look that way, I think, Demo. There's no commitment to that location, and if you're going to play some Melusi trap, it's a very valuable piece of utility. You want to try and get yourself a kill off the back of it. Someone that will be getting the kill for the first time in 2 rounds is Renji, and it's going to be Ziosh. Flutchwagon is going to fall outside a cafe, maybe getting a little bit too predictable. It's been an area the Zafira has entered multiple times now. And while this round he will be shut down. The opening kill, however, still went in favor of White Tigers. And I'm sure it's not going to do too much to deter them, as they've still got a whole minute to execute.
Just looking for anybody who may peek at the attackers as they're holding strong. 40 seconds to go. So much time, really, for them to work with what they've got, and it looks to be 6ix9ine. They're waiting for him to make that crucial push in towards the cafe, and Ziosh, though, he has a deployable shield, but it should be destroyed, I think, by 6ix9ine with the breaching rounds he has at his disposal. A smoke grenade gets tossed out just to keep him at bay for the meantime, and, well, there goes the aggressiveness off that Iana that we've talked about so many times, but the trade-off finally for Renji. They're getting these trades on the board, and now 3 versus 3. Jay in behind the bomb, he's holding on to the breach, and everyone else around him are starting to pick up kills, and finally Renji, they hold on to their defense on the top floor, and they take the round.
Finally managed to make it work. Opening Blood not going in their direction, but they did manage to break that cafe push, and it really did force 6ix9ine to then make that rotation. It was such a crucial kill that was gotten there by Ziosh onto Flutchwagon, because all of a sudden somebody else from White Tigers needs to be pressuring that cafe door to stop anybody from playing inside that all-important power position on boxes and cafe door. That person was 6ix9ine. The whole rotation really slowed up the attack and ultimately culminated in Renji picking up a round. Is it a little bit too little too late though, Demo? White Tigers, this is their map pick. They're currently sitting at 4 rounds to 2. They only need a couple, and they're going to be looking at a match point.
Anything can change in Theme Park. It really can, and I think that's just the way Siege is. The momentum base that can really swing for either side is monumental for a lot of teams. But are Renji one of those? It's 1 round back. Now they switch over to the attacks. Is their attacks just a heap of a lot better than their defenses? Who knows? We'll have to find out. as you can see there with the map ban. So we got Cafe right at least, Ollie, but Oregon's the decider.
Yes, sir. A little bit different to what we saw at the start of the broadcast, but if you're only joining us now, that doesn't matter at all. Theme Park Cafe, Oregon, currently on White Tigers map pick. They're going into their defensive phase at 4 rounds to 2. Looking to play site a little bit differently to the way that we saw Renji opting to play. We're seeing some dedication to keeping the walls closed. We've got the Cade, we've got a castle. All of that really speaks to there's going to be some hard roamers on the site. Whilst we've got Flutch, he's going to be taking the Alibi. Alibi's going to want to get out there and stretch the legs and make sure that they're making full use of their utility and kit. I'm sure that we're going to see a little bit of a roam game coming out here from White Tigers as well.
From Cash side, as expected, that's the way the attacks have to play it. You go from this one side, you have a hatch that you can utilize to get drones down and obviously drop into. As per usual from the defense, a little bit of upstairs pressure. Extension in towards initiation. I'm sure Catwalk is also open for them. But nobody necessarily playing inside a vault. More so, I think, a more loose roam game. You see the Alibi just kind of running about the place, looking for anything that she can get her hands on. And yeah, Renji just taking it slow at the moment, but I'm sure the spice will start to warm up very, very soon.
A lot of roaming drones there, just desperate to find any information that they can. The big question here is, for me, is are Renji going to be as efficient as we saw White Tigers at that drone clear? Certainly not efficient at the impact trick. He's one of those that has managed to sneak on through. Shouldn't concern the site players all too much, and I do believe they were able to get a part of the charge, so it will only be sort of knee-high hole there that's going to be made. Got a nice little pop-up there on screen. White Tigers won 5 out of 6 of their opening duels, gaining that first blood. Really
very, very strong.
It amounted to round wins, and that's something that Renji are going to have to try and repeat here. But you don't want to be peaking that with Cali. Flitch is going to win that engagement all day long, and he does so. The man will be dragged back though. Jersh just find one onto Navarre, and the site control has now been gained. 6-9 going to be doing bits on the Jaeger as access to site is now possible, but there are players inside that are willing to fight with their life. Jersh, he's going to hit a double kill on the round, but not before Winnow grabs a quick kill.
30 seconds. Still a roamer who has decided to drop down barrels and is trying to push in through split, which he has done so, but gets automatically eliminated by Jayash. 6-9 though, it can also come from split and is looking out to creep in, but Zayoshi has that cover, just has to hold that angle, and Jayash does get the diffuser down. Now it is into a 2 versus 2. Can we see White Tigers pull this back? Couple of shots rattling out now as Nemo threads the needle. One on the Jayash, now Zayosh in a 1v1 now as he eliminates Nemo. And now it's just down to him versus 6-9. Can 6-9 pull off this diffuse? Creeps through, knows he's by Dragon, but decides to fall back, and Zayosh just playing it so safe and so slow. Makes some noise, 6-9 comes off it. Will he go for the peak? But no, Zayosh holds it down firm for Renji. They take their first attack on the throne room.
It's a very good attack onto throne room from Renji there. It's something that we didn't see White Tigers able to achieve at all. Was a diffuser down or good and decent access into the site. Both of those things were achieved in that round by Renji, and they've really set a little bit of a line in the sand saying, look, you can take us to throne room, we're going to pick things up on attack. Now all of a sudden they are 1 round off the pace, 1 round from leveling things up, and that nice little lead that we saw White Tigers have as we came into this phase is slowly slipping away from this. Still got a round in hand, so still possible to gain 2-round lead again after round number 8 that we're about to jump into. But for me, if Renji continue to attack like that, we could have quite the game on our hands here.
It's definitely a good way to get your attack rolling. This is what we talk about with the momentum ollie. anything can change. If your team is starting to really get into the mojo and you're starting to synergize with each other and everything's going right for you, it is so tough for anybody to do anything against it. You know, like I look at Renji, and I think if a player like Zeosh can start ramping up those kills, he can be a very deadly player. I think the same can be said for Jay. He was hitting some really nice shots that last round, getting himself, I think, 3 kills in the round. You know, they have got some big players there who can make that massive difference. One thing I also want to highlight that's a little bit interesting from Toro, and I hope if he does watch this back, he takes this in, you know, the best way possible. If you're using Kali, don't use the sniper. Don't you use the SMG. The sniper ain't good, because if you miss that shot, you're done, which he showed us. That happened. So, little tip for anybody. You're playing this operator, you're there for the gadget, you're not there for the sniper. You're there for the SMG as well.
Yeah, it's not the easiest one to pull off. Occasionally, if you're holding that hard angle or a long angle, you can get away with the sniper rifle, but you've got to give yourself that advantage of the SMG, especially when you're going up against something like the MX4 Storm, which has just got a sheer rate of firepower. They aren't going to get away from that in time. Flitch is looking to hold upstairs inside of Cash. There's a bit of drone work going on now. Genji spotting out some utility, just can't quite find the correct destructible line to shoot it through, but instead looks to reposition. I'm not sure in all of this drone work that he's aware of Alibi's presence.
I think they will, though, just with a couple of drones in there. Operator that could have been brought is Jackal, who is also very good for theme park, where roaming is definitely an option, and usually is an option for defenders. Can be a pretty troublesome operator to deal with. And you know that 2 times in the C7E, boy, that thing goes pretty hard on a lot of gunfights. So definitely a good option if they are struggling with roamers. But I think they have a suspicion where the alibi is, but nobody really pouncing on it. Yeah, I'm looking at the angles, you know, holding in towards Cash. You can see now the 2-pronged attack from the southwest side. Hopefully this is going to be a clean take for the attackers, but maybe Flutschwagen, he could have a different thing to say on the matter.
Just look at the time that it's eaten up, Demo. We're nearly at 2 minutes of time totally eaten here as Flutch is still alive. They know of his location. The sniper being used again by Toro, but the swing comes out. Flutch once again winning that engagement 2 rounds in a row. He's now going to go on to hit a double kill, and all of a sudden with 55 seconds left to be, this isn't where you want to be as an attacker at a 5 versus 3 man count, with a heck of a lot of work yet to do and a full roam clear to still achieve.
And 6ix9ine is right behind Senji, and he doesn't even know. He has no idea that 6ix9ine, oh, never mind, he dropped down the hatch. He was upstairs, but he decided, no, let's go back downstairs, because I think they caught a scent of a crouch-walking Ash, and oh my word, look at this. Even Flutschwagen, he's gone as well. What a phenomenal roam game from him. He still managed to eat up even more time, and another kill.
Notorious now looking to try and directly pressure in onto site. He's going to open the right side of split. 10 seconds left. It's going to be single doorways pushed. And we all know what's going to happen here. Only a matter of time really for these attackers before they meet their demise. They're all going to find one, making it a 4 versus 1. Notorious is able to grab one back, but a double swing at the end. Quite enough. The White Tigers there are going to pick up the round over on defense. Notorious, he had an option there to pick up a double kill as the double swing came out, and it was a slight bit careless from White Tigers, but they got away with it nonetheless. It's going to put them on 5 rounds to 3.
One thing I have to mention again, Ollie, the sniper. The sniper. You don't use it. Again, it's been exhibited once more. Guy gets swung, sniper rifle, can't do anything against that. You're dead.
I can remember, Demo, somebody making it work, but I can't remember where. I can't remember what I was watching. It may have been in Yukon, where someone was really making the sniper do bits.
I feel for the sniper, you either got it or you don't.
Attackers need to
Yeah, it really is one of those things. It's as clear cut as that.
I mean, I still think you should just use the SMG. I mean, you're only bringing Kali because you don't have a Thatcher or a Maverick. That's the only reason why she ever gets played. So, I mean, yeah.
It sounds like you don't got it, Demo.
I mean, I don't play her because I don't troll. You know, if I'm in the rank stack and I pull out the Kali, I'm gone. I'm banished. They don't even let me play Vigil anymore.
I was going to say, are there any rank stacks that you're actually allowed in?
I mean, we were having a good old session the other night. I did some bits with the Mozzie, 1.5 times. It's good fun. But yeah, you know, Demo is known to be a known rank troller, so I don't know how I referenced myself in the third person, but I did.
White Tigers 5 rounds to 3 now. This is them to confirm match point. So far, we've seen quite a mixed bag from Renji, I think it's fair to say. There's been some rounds where they've played very well, and other rounds where we've just seen some killer mistakes coming in that have gone heavily punished by that side of White Tigers. Certainly their opening and their entry game has been nowhere near as strong.
No, I don't think that it's been like that same level as what we kind of seen, but again, that's just the way theme park is sometimes. You know, you switch over, different stuff happens, different stuff goes wrong, you know, stuff goes right. It's just the way the map is. I think overall at the moment, I still kind of give White Tigers the edge still. I still think even if this round doesn't work for them, I still think they'll have it in the back pocket. Just depends on how they want to play this bomb site. I mean, granted, it is upstairs now, and I mean, for some teams, upstairs can be a bit of an issue, especially with that hard execute where getting the diffuser down in this bomb site is very tough to do so. And there is a lot of like tough angles. I mean, I think of like top yellow stairs. That can be a tough area for teams to clear out. You know, you really have to manifest somebody downstairs first of all. Shot, but yeah, it can be tough sometimes. You see that player on yellow, 6'9", and they're going to need to try and take him out because he can cause some big damage from that position.
Yeah, playing with the buddy as well as Navarro is going to be at the top of those stairs, just providing enough assurance for 6'9" that he's not going to get flanked on from upstairs. But that's a careless swing, and he should have gone more heavily punished than that, as look how far 6'9" has to go to confirm that kill, running all the way down into storage there. But Ziosh will be taken out. Man count now back at 11, pegging 4 versus 4. Navarre's going for flashy pistol plays here, Demo. I don't think he's got the Titan Killer as his primary.
No, he is a Scorpion, but I still think the pistol's better than the Scorpion at this range. That is 100% for sure, because the Scorpion, unless it's right up against somebody, you're not getting some clean kills with it. So yeah, it's going to be tough. So I think the pistol definitely the better option. And oh, that's a beautiful nade. Beautiful nade. Tossed over, kills the man in arcade. That alleviates quite a lot of pressure. And look, no Kali on the sniper this time. It's Kali with the SMG, and it's got them a kill. Surprise, surprise. 6'9", though, he rotates up arcade, and now he has a 1-3-3 to deal with, and oh, doesn't even get close.
Nice kill coming in there from Senji as he confirms the kill in sight, and then able to swing onto the doorway and keep his eyes out for that pesky 6'9", trying to sneak his way on through and pick up a triple kill, but it will not be. Rounds being responded back and forth now, as 5-4 is where we sit. Renji have done a good job to pick up 2 rounds on attack, but can they go further? That's the big question here, is how many more times can we see these guys winning it out? Because they didn't look very close at all to the previous site that we saw White Tigers winning. White Tigers have got the advantage here, but for how long? I think if Renji can keep pulling them out of the bag, they might be able to break the White Tigers here on this map.
It's a big round, this one. Obviously, it gives White Tigers the match point, which is massive for morale. But if Renji pull it back, then it's fair game. It's 5-5. We go max rounds if it gets that stage, so... yeah, I don't know really where it's going to play out. I mean, we'll go upstairs now. For White Tigers, they start off strong. You know, I think that opening kill for 6'9" was big for them, getting rid of the IQ below. But there was some well-timed nades, though, that did alleviate that kind of pressure in the arcade hallway. Very strong position for any defender playing. It gives you good rotations. You know, you can rotate in towards the corridor, in towards either of the bomb sites as well. You know, we see a lot of really long gunfights be played from that corridor, and getting rid of that man very early on is massive for the attackers.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
6'9" looks like he may be out more on a solo roam this time. Lot of pressure been coming in early on from that Dragon side. Maybe reading into that and just trying to grab a real cheap kill early. Do a bit for White Tigers here as Ziosh is looking to make his usual entry. Everybody else getting to the safety of that roof as got a plan of their own where they would like to be playing. We can hear Cali's sniper rifle going off in the distance. No doubt opening the hatches and just giving these attackers as many options as possible. Renji know what's on the line here. They know that this is the round that's going to put White Tigers on a match point if they do lose it. They want to make sure that they don't and that they're able to continue to fight in this fixture. Ziosh pushing in, same way that he did previously. I'm not going to hop into his drone now and just gather a little bit of information, but Flutch is playing inside a throne, and there's the Mozzie. There's a likelihood he's given himself a pest or two to keep himself from being droned.
I wonder why they're playing IQ. I mean, Echo and Valk are both open, but they haven't been brought once by White Tigers. They have shown no interest in those operators, so still picking the IQ. I mean, perhaps just fearful if it does happen, then, you know, you're going to be set up pretty nice for it. But I don't know, like, surely at this stage, after how many rounds have been played in, what, 3 rounds? This is now your 4th attack, and there still has been no sign of an Echo or a Valk. You maybe think, okay, maybe we need something else, which I think definitely could have been the play for them.
Yeah, I'd certainly question it in conjunction with the Cali as well, as you don't necessarily need both. You know, if we think back to what we saw White Tigers bringing, there was a Zephyr sometimes thrown in fact every round thrown in, and there was of course the Iana as well, which gifted a lot of results. I don't think the Renji are taking as much advantage as they potentially could be at the lack of a Wamai. The fact that Wamai is banned, you've really got to be making the most use possible out of those grenade-based operators, and that's something that White Tigers did exceptionally well.
Yeah. I mean, granted, still nade kills here or there for Renji, but I think White Tigers, they did a lot better. 6-9, do you know that somebody is right beside you? The barbed wire gets bashed, and oh, Ziosh wins that gunfight. 6-9 not aware of somebody pushing yellow. I mean, Ziosh went there last time and won the gunfight against him. But look at this. Flutchwagon, he's also thinking of going up yellow. The fight for yellow is fierce as it always is, and oh, Ziosh. Just a scratch, though. Well, not a lot of damage done by the Mozzie. Still, he's alive and can hold this strong position on towards yellow and starts pilting in towards these defenders. And JS now with the SMG tears his way for the bomb site. A double kill for him, double for Ziosh, and one more player to find. 4 seconds to go. Diffuser being planted. Can the Ella find a diffuser? No, she can't. Post plant, pistoled in the back. No idea where she is, and Renji squared all up. 5 rounds to 5.
That was the old walk it on through, I think, demo, as we just saw Renji
just keep
strolling
swimming
their way into the bomb site. It's going to take us to 5-5. This isn't somewhere that we thought we were going to be. After the dominating start we saw White Tigers having on their attack, we thought they'd have a similar time on the defense, but that hasn't been the case. Renji have come through, and they have fought tooth and nail to get to this point. This is a huge round now, make no mistake. It is also a round that we saw Renji winning earlier on, where they were able to successfully get the diffuser down, something that we didn't see White Tigers able to achieve.
5-5, Ollie. What are you calling? Where do you think it's gonna go?
Heads.
Wrong game.
What do you mean? It's a coin toss game, demo. This could go either way. We don't know which way it's going to go.
Do you want to do a coin toss, see who wins, see if the coin lies or if it tells the truth?
I'm just going to say heads. You can toss the toss.
I don't have a coin. I'm broke.
What you think it's going to be? Get a coin up off Google. You can do that, can't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot that we have internet.
Technology.
Here we go. Flipping the coin. What have we got? It's heads.
It's heads.
He's won the million.
Brilliant. I tell you, if I've won $1 million, I'm going to be dipping.
10 seconds
I'm going to be getting my chips and dip.
I'll solo cast. No problem.
What's your favorite chip and dip, demo?
Attackers must locate and defuse the
Doritos?
bomb.
Which flavor?
Cheese.
Just the tangy cheese.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm not a big fan of salsa.
We've got a couple of guys from America in the production team, and I think it'd make many an American's heart bleed if they actually knew the flavour of crisps that we had to put up against in the UK. We have the worst crisp flavours.
I will always say that, you know, love America. You know, it's a great place, but Americans pretty weird. And I don't think anyone who isn't from America will agree. You know, everyone looks at them, yeah, you guys are weird. You know?
Demo, they have great flavors of crisps. You can get like buffalo chicken and stuff like that. It really is a whole new world.
What is buffalo? What is buffalo?
It tastes great.
Isn't Buffalo a city?
I think they've got a great sauce. I think that's what they're known for. Demo, we're missing the action. 2 kills have gone. We've had a kill in either direction.
Start ranting about America. Sorry about America. Sorry.
6ix9ine, he's looking to get the refrag here onto Flutch as the opening kill went in the direction of White Tigers. 6ix9ine instead choosing to drop and keep himself alive, recognizing just how valuable this round is. It's going to propel one of these teams onto a match point and give them an inherent advantage in taking this first map. This is, of course, a best-of-3 series. There is more action to come from these two teams after this fixture. We're going to be looking toward Cafe, a map that I know that Demo and I are both quite excited for. But still, we've got to get through theme.
Minutes ago, upstairs control is in favor of the attacking side. Need to get the sledge in, though. Start ripping up the floors. 6ix9ine is gone from said sledge, and now we see the destructibility factor. This essentially makes the entire armory side just not playable. It's tough. I mean, granted, where we see Wino playing, that's the only position you can play. But still, very predictable. If you know that somebody's creeping around in armory and you can't see them through the holes, you know exactly where they are. So this should be a very easy kill, I think, for whoever's pushing in for the breach. All you do is you walk in and you pre-fire yellow. That's it. That's all you do.
Again, we're seeing the execute come through from Renji. It's something that they were able to set up in the previous round as well. And they've got a lot of site control and site access now, and you can see the players on site very restricted in their movement. They're not going to be able to do all too much. This nade could be quite good here as it comes on through, but Wino is able to keep himself alive. His location's known, and it looks as though he's going to get pre-fired momentarily, but Notorious is going to win an important engagement on a single doorway. Kills flying in now as we're seeing both teams fighting tooth and nail. 2 versus 2 as we see Nemo advancing his way on through. Player just the other side of the wall. He's going to go for the swing, but no, gets taken out by Zeosh. The diffuser is going down in the process. All the kills going in favor of Renji. Zeosh going huge there, picking up 2, covering his teammate as the diffuser was being planted. Look at those 360s he's throwing in for us.
Well, round 12 we go to, and well, you can see Jay, he's very happy with Zeosh, and hey, the player I said that could step up at any moment, and yeah, he's starting to really put the shift in. White Tigers, they looked so strong, and all of a sudden they're losing. But this is it. This is the way Siege is, momentum-based. Anything can change. Anything can happen. All because one team had a very good half against you doesn't mean you can't do the same to them. We have seen so many times where comebacks have happened. You know, teams going, 5-0 up, and then they lose 7-5. How many times have we seen a 5-0 into a 7-5?
It happens quite regularly. I've got a sneaking theory that teams that do peak a little bit too early tend to take the foot off the gas. They don't fight as hard. In those, mid rounds, as it were, the mid rounds in the game, not in terms of the time. And we do see teams, peaking a little bit too early, and just, a game of Siege isn't a sprint. It's, it's not quite a marathon. Best of 3 or best of 5, that's a marathon. But, looking at it as a singular map, it's a good pace. It's a long jog. It's like the 800. You don't want to give it too many beans too early. You need to save a little bit in the tank for that final 100 meters. And that seems to be what Renji have done so far. They've dug quite deep, and they've been able to secure a really couple of important rounds there. That last one, of course, propelling them onto match point. Interestingly here, Demo, we're seeing White Tigers choose to go down here again. I think I'm right in saying they've lost both times defending this objective.
Yeah, Front Room's doing a bit of a scary one where necessarily it hasn't, been entirely defender, which is very strange. I think we look back towards White Tigers and how they were attacking. They had a pretty rough time of trying to do it, and yeah, I mean, like you said, marathon. That's what it's about. You're in it. It's a best of 3. You don't want to try and burn for everything. Like you said, 800 meter. You need to take your time of it. Did you run an 800 meter? Were you a sports day kind of guy? Do you do any of that?
What do you think, Demo? After judging off my athletic
shot put, I think, is more of your your kind of go-to.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the 800 meter. I came second last. I beat a kid with asthma, so I'll take it.
When you said, I thought you were going to say second. Then I was going to have a big
second last. Beat a kid. He had an asthma attack midway through. I just ran past him. Would have lost if he didn't have that. So
you didn't even help.
Not one of my proudest moments, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Take it.
Who do you think is going to take this opening engagement, 6ix9ine or Ziosh?
6ix9ine's gave himself away, so it should be Ziosh. I hope so anyway, and you can see 6ix9ine panicking just a little bit, and shots just rattle through everywhere, but he hasn't been touched yet. This constant drill work being happening. Ziosh. Finish him. Come on, you know where he is. Just find him. Find his body. There he is. And Ziosh lands the headshot. But that is exactly what White Tigers needed, though. On the flip side, they needed the refrag, which is exactly what Flutchwagoners gave them.
6ix9ine's really struggled since coming onto the defense. He went 6-1 on the attacking, on his attacking phase. And I think, what's he on now? 8-8. So he's gained 2 kills. And in fact, flipping the script, we've got it right there as a pop out at the bottom of the screen.
Rough.
Not great. 7 deaths for 2 kills. Not great at all. But his teammates are stepping up. Flutch didn't have the greatest time on the attack, and since getting onto the defense has really started to step up for his team. So there's a swinging around about in there for the White Tigers. They're managing to find a little bit of balance between themselves. Just need to both find form at a similar time, and then we'll certainly see a terrifying prospect.
Nice.
Stands, site's now getting opened. Nemo is impact trick, so doesn't actually look as though anyone's going to gain access through those holes. They're just going to be very, very difficult angles.
That's massive for White Tigers. Oh, never mind. Still, one more that goes in favor of them, and that will give them their breach. Ran out of the impacts. I mean, I think he possibly could have got both of them, but he just missed it. Just the impact didn't work for them. And right now, you see the head? Somebody's there, Toro. Oh no, this isn't good. If Toro doesn't know that Nemo's lurking in a corner, this is going to be horrific for Renji.
Nemo's just going to bide his time now and play patiently. Flutch going to find one, keeping his team in it. 4 versus 3 now, as your prediction was correct, Demo, and nobody knew that Nemo was there as he picks up the final 2, securing that round for White Tigers. We're going to be going to an overtime.
Yeah, just lack of information. That really let Renji down. However, we see the overtime and they get their attack, and both teams, they've done a lot better on the attacking half than they have the defense. So if we're going off statistics, then we favor Renji to take this. But anything can change still, you know. Either side have had defender wins. It's been a 4-2 split each side, so still there is options there. But right now for White Tigers on the defense, they need to make this round count.
Yeah, White Tigers need to start chaining something together here, because as it stands, they, you know, they're struggling quite dearly in the defender side of things. Really sticking to this armory and throne room. It's not somewhere that's consistent for them. You know, they're doing relatively okay in there. I think had, you know, Nemo got found out in that previous round, it would have been a totally different story. We would have seen. I think it was Toro just, you know, pre-fire right, and he would have instantly got the kill, and all of a sudden it's a different round and 2 kills don't go to the White Tigers in the dying few seconds. You can't rely on that in terms of a strategy for winning rounds time after time. What's your thought process here, Demo? We're seeing Ziosh switch things up. He's played the IQ religiously, and now is going to be jumping over onto the Dokkaebi.
Dokkaebi's not what she used to be. You go back 2 years, one of the strongest operators. The SMG-12 at the time was just god tier, hardly in a recoil. I think that's really where a player like Aces, he rose to power in that aspect, where obviously we've seen him play that Dokkaebi so much with that sidearm. But ever since that sidearm did take a massive nerf to its recoil, Dokkaebi has been a thing of the past. You know, I look at Dokkaebi and I think, you know, the gadget is still there, but it's just not as strong. You know, we're not back into the olden times of, you know, the Dokkaebi Lion meta Jackal where you can't move or can't do anything. She's become much more of a niche pick. Granted, she has had a couple of buffs here or there. I like the free times in the DMR. This thing can go pretty hard if you have the capable marksman behind it, but it's always a big if. She does bring smoke grenades to the table, which can help a lot for not only burning utility, but just a general site execution. You know, on Theme Park, where there is a lot of cut-off points and doorways that you want to make sure you can smoke off, especially if you don't have control of that area, then yeah, it can be great for you.
Fletcher player that I'm interested to watch early with a keen eye, as he usually finds himself in those early engagements. Notorious looking to drone out down yellow now, as Toro is going to be holding from showers. Looking to cut off any crossfires potential. Short-sighted. Only Throne, Armory, and Bunk and Daycare have been played in this matchup. Both teams really just flitting back and forth between the two, and I think that probably goes to show how many rounds have been chained together by these defenders, and the answer is not very many. Because if there had been, we would have needed to see more sites, but as it stands, it really hasn't been a good map for the defending side. Notorious there, good drone work able to take out 6ix9ine in conjunction with the Dokkaebi call, and 6ix9ine again getting shut down, really targeting that player. And once again, he's going to go around without gaining a kill.
Flutschwagen on the alibi, who has had some great moments on his defense, and let's see if he can have any more of those. He's going to have to go big with 6ix9ine gone as well. Just leaves you a little bit more vulnerable not having that teammate to join you on the roam game. But I mean, Renji, they're not fussed. You know, they'll let Flutschwagen do whatever he wants to do. But no, actually, they're going to look for the hunt. Is this the correct decision? I would say it probably is, with how much issue that Renji have been having with defenders flanking them. Then yeah, this is probably the correct issue to go for. And well, through the drone hole, the DMR strikes and it will snatch a kill. Now it's a 5 versus 3, and White Tigers, this is not looking good for them.
Not looking great at all. Really want to try and confirm your first round in overtime, as it sets a good precedent then. But Dios looking to aggressively push on through as the Dokkaebi pre-firing as he goes. He's going to win out the engagement, or at least give Notorious an easier time. 3 versus 1 now, as the kills really do start to fly. JS, she's going to be getting the diffuser down. Nemo, it is all down to you. You were able to get a double kill in the previous round. Can you do it again now? The Wubble giving off a lot of information. Pre-fire shots go out, lands the first. Can he confirm the second? Going to be running out of ammo very shortly indeed. Draws for the pistol, confirms the kill. A triple on the round for Nemo. And he's able to get that diffuser sorted out with a lot of time to spare.
Defender mission successful.
White Tigers! Unbelievable, and quite rightly so. They're giving it back just the way that we seen Renji pull it forward as well, whenever they were saying about Zeosh and their goat skill. No. They have Nemo. Attackers had no idea what he was pulling off.
Good round indeed there for White Tigers. Very, very much needed.
They couldn't find Nemo. I just thought a really good pun there, Ollie. They couldn't find him.
Oh.
Damn it. We could have done so much better.
There's still time. I don't think anyone heard that. I think we can use it again later. We've got potentially 3 maps here, Demo.
You know what? If we pull it back in like Playday 5 where nobody remembers.
No, honestly, I think we pull it out later tonight.
Okay.
We'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes. Important thing now for White Tigers is that they're on match point, and they did exceptionally well on their attacking phase. They came out at 4-2. There's a very good chance that they are able to take this here and now. White Tigers really not wanting to give this one up. The match started looking as though White Tigers were going to win anyway. They had a very strong attacking phase, went 4-2, then things, when they got onto the defense, started to fall apart ever so slightly. But, you know, Renji, it feels as though they've potentially done enough to drag it back, and they've got the, momentum on their side as well. Really is all to play for here, Demo.
10 seconds left.
It's going to be really, really tough for either side to
5 seconds
really
remaining.
finish it out, it seems to be. Both of them back and forth right to the bitter end. White Tigers at the moment are leading, but, I mean, the way this game has went, I think it could be a 7-7. It really could be. Every time now I think of Theme Park and I look at this scoreline and I'm seeing, like, 7-6 and it goes all the way, I just think of M&M and Gamma. That's all I think about now, because that game's been embedded in my mind now.
Shenji upstairs in showers. Be interesting to see if he's got any utility inside of Cash. He's obviously playing the Malusi, and If there's a gadget there, potentially on the same wall that the door is on from the balcony, it could provide a little bit of value. It's going to slow the attackers down on their peeking and their pushing on through. Well, it doesn't look to be holding it all too securely, so it would indicate not, but we have seen some questionable utility placement from the side of Renji so far. Ooh, a nice opener there as Shenji's going to pick it up over onto Winnow. Winnow did so much work on the Iana in the first attacking phase for the White Tigers. It's a big shame for them to lose him just so early. He's not really been able to get the gadget out there, not really been able to gather all too much information so far. It's as though Renji have got a good read on where the push is coming from here, Demo.
Yeah, Zeosh is definitely someone we're looking to now to go pretty big on that smoke roll. Nemo trying to ace the bathroom, ace the shower. Strange, very strange, but as we press on, 120, no control in towards the initiation or cache. A lot of them actually scattered around over towards the kind of cafe side of things, and even Fletchwagon rappelling up to the break room windows, which we don't see a lot of play off. Haven't seen any play of that here today, so strange seeing it now. Wonder what they're up to. What are they changing up?
It seems strange to change something in a match point situation like this, Demo. You know, White Tigers had a good attacking phase. They didn't really need to be messing around with it all too much, and we're seeing a lot of different things coming out here now. Nemo and 6ix9ine, they're really shaping up for a push in through, but they know there's going to be a lot of guns pointed in their direction, and the cafe control that they're after really hasn't been gained. That's allowing Zeosh to play in that all-important cafe door area. Fletchwagon usually challenging onto the cafe door from the outside. That's now falling into the hands of Navarre. Is it going to be enough as time ticks on down? 25 seconds left here.
Pushing through, Nemo into the corridor, eliminates one, but can he find Notorious? No, he's too good with that mute in hand, and now Jackal pushing in through Cafe, 3 versus 3 as Fletchwagon finds one onto Zeosh. He's gone, that's the big smoke. Toro, great flick onto the head of the Jackal. 6ix9ine, now he runs into bombsite eliminate as well. Fletchwagon has the crossfire, but no, not enough to pull off any more than that one kill. 7-7 we go to Renji with the fighting spirit still at their side.
Max overtime here now. Really making us go all the way to see the results of this first game here. White Tigers versus Renji. It is now all to play for. It now comes down to just one round. White Tigers, they're going to be on the defense. Didn't have the greatest time of things on the defense. Instead of the throne room this time, they are forced over into daycare and bunk. As we said earlier, we've only seen 2 bomb sites throughout the entirety of this fixture. That just gives you an indication as to how back and forth it's been. Currently sat here at 7 rounds apiece. What is going to be the difference maker? Zeosh, she's going to be making a change. Seen him playing the IQ, seen him playing the Dokubi a little bit, and now we are seeing him pick up the Iana. That's an operator that White Tigers put to fantastic use earlier on. Is it going to be the difference maker for them,
Pretty sure. It's the exact same as what White Tigers were taking. We see the Cali come back in again. Hopefully Jay is... Just don't use the sniper rifle. Just don't. Just use the SMG. You know, he started using the SMG and he got kills. What a surprise.
No, it was Toro. Toro was the old...
Wait, wasn't it Jay? Jay was using the sniper as well, didn't he? He was using the SMG and he was getting kills with it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's been a change, but I remember Toro was the first
both of them have ran Cali.
10 seconds left before insertion.
So, I mean, it's like Toro, he was trying to use the sniper rifle, wasn't working. Jay, using also the same operator, using the SMG, getting kills. Wow.
To locate a bomb and defuse it.
What a
Sometimes
surprise.
it'd be like that, Demo.
Yep. Surprise, surprise.
Both teams going to be really wanting to secure a result here, as Cafe is the next map. If necessary, we do move things on to Oregon. 6ix9ine looking to make something happen. He's had a torrid time on the defense. Went really well on the attack, 6-1, and all of a sudden he finds himself at 8-10. He's gone from a fantastic entry player, really dominating on Ash, to just struggling to make anything happen over on Jaeger, and only picking up 2 kills in a good number of rounds.
He's off the Jaeger as well. I mean, that must show that he's not just feeling it right now with that operator. He's now on the Mozzie, the Roni. Did he have the 1.5 times, or was he using the holographic? Was he using the holographic? I think he might have, which is surprising. I mean, that 1.5 times in the Mozzie is phenomenal. It just alleviates that operator to a new level. I mean, the Roni was already, you know, a great gun to use. Obviously, Commando was also there. You know, people were bringing Commando because just a little bit more ammo, so you can try and, you know, go for a double kill. Sometimes the Roni getting a double kill can be a tough ask. But now with the 1.5 times, it gives you so much more value. Being able to fight those, you know, those longer engagements. I think spawn peeking as well with the Mozzie has become much more of an aggressive thing that a lot of teams like to do with the 1.5 times. And actually still using the holographic, surprisingly.
Jay looking to gain a bit of access there as he's using Cali Gadget to enable the wall to be opened on through. Toro there to get the hard breaching done. Nades get tossed on through, but it is going to be a little bit too deep. Not going to do anything to the wall being opened. Zeosh looking to push his way on through. 6ix9ine looking to challenge as well as Wiggle peeking going on out. It is, of course, only the Iana Prisma that is being challenged onto, but Zeosh has got a really good idea of where 6ix9ine is now playing and can look to try and take this engagement. It's a battle that we've seen raged on those yellow stairs by those two players all evening, and this round is all more important to see which one wins it out. Nemo there looking to get a bit of a bandit trick going. It seems as though he will do. There's really no more hard breach potential left. Zeosh looking to swing round onto the corner, going to win the gunfight with ease. Catches 6ix9ine sleeping, traded out instantly once again by Flutch. Another good thing that we've seen from White Tigers is that constant trade we are seeing. 4 versus 4 now, only 25 seconds left though. Not a lot of time for these attackers.
Again, another yellow stairs battle, which is surprising. You know, they've pushed that so many times, and you know, Zeosh gets that kill and then gets straight off exactly the same way. They've managed to get their push going on from yellow, but out of nowhere, kills flurry in for the defense. Now a 1 versus 3 that Toro has to pull off, but he has no chance with that one. White Tigers out of nowhere, a massacre in that arcade corridor. Well, 8-7. White Tigers, they take that first map, 8-7.
And Navarre went huge there with a couple of double kills in those dying few seconds. And Renji, you know, they didn't really have much of a plan as to how they wanted to execute. We've seen them getting the diffuser down. We've seen them have some good rounds on attack, but maybe the match point there just getting a little bit too much for them. That's going to be White Tigers taking map number 1. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a few. Let's have a look now, Demo. What is Cafe going to hold indeed? As we throw into the operator bans here.
If I was to predict, I'd say Thatcher ban.
That's always a pretty safe bet, you know? I'd put money on a Thatcher ban in most games of Siege, I think.
I mean, Thatcher Maverick makes Kitchen very tough to attack.
Are we going to see a bigger bomb site split this time, Demo? Because that's something that's maybe worth mentioning as well, is we didn't see
only the two, yeah.
Straying past, was it Bunken Daycare and Throne and Armory? All questions that remain to be answered. Maverick and Thatcher, the two attackers to be banned. No major surprises here. Renji coming in with their ban now. I'm guessing maybe a Mirror or Maestro, something along those lines. No, they're going to actually go for the Wamai. That's interesting. I think that's probably going to free White Tigers up here, you know, because White Tigers banned the Wamai over on Theme Park, and it was my inkling and sort of instinct that they were going to be happy to play without the Wamai yet again. Now it stands that they've not got a free ban, but, you know, Wamai's already...
This will be a Mirror ban, I think.
Picture.
I think this will be a Mirror.
It's going to be a nice ban here for White Tigers. It's something that maybe they weren't expecting to have. And worth mentioning, White Tigers made much better use of grenades in their attacking clears than we saw from Renji.
Yeah, looking at the bans, I mean, it's like you said, definitely favoring the teams who like to play with the heavy nades whenever Wamai's gone. Everyone keep in mind that this is still before any of the new changes come in, where Wamai and Jaeger are, you know, a massive powerhouse duo where you just can't burn through them quick enough. And, you know, that changes, you know, like, I'm really, really happy that we're going to see something different next season because I think it was needed.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I think I'm probably going to sling onto the old test server and have a few games after the broadcast tonight. As the changes, they are bringing the changes, and it's time. We've had the 20-second meta, we've had the catcher meta, as it's almost now been labeled over on Twitter. I think it's going to free things up and make things a little bit more interesting.
I said this back whenever we were doing the Yukon finals, and it was the Eminem and Navi match, and whenever they were doing Oregon, and remember it was a Wamai and a Jaeger ban.
Yeah,
that was one of the probably funnest matches that we've seen in quite a while.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Like, just without those two operators, it just made the gunfight so much more appealing.
Yeah, it was back to, I don't want to use the word good old scene, but it was back to, a little bit more akin to what we used to seeing, where, it goes down to gunfights and the utility can be deployed in different areas.
It's like you didn't know what you were expecting. Whereas if you look at this meta, you know exactly what's going to happen. You can call it play by play. You take out that element of predictable, operators that are always going to be there in predictable setups. You don't know where it's going to go, and it just makes it so much more intriguing to see, okay, where's it going to go? They've done this, oh, what's going to happen now? It's that whole mystery about it.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Well, there's not going to be much mystery in the opening portion of this round demo. We're seeing very standard stuff coming out from the White Tigers. They're going to be holding on to Bakery. Obviously looking for a bit of an extended roam game, but Toro opens the account. He is cashing checks as Flutch is going to get caught out on a very unfortunate roam clear there. With a pre-fire as he hops himself up and lays a few careful shots through the window. On the book as well, that is impressive to do, and you can only think that that's a common spot that he likes pre-firing, and well, it's gained big results in this round. Flutch, someone that did exceptionally well on the defensive phase inside a theme park. He switched himself over onto the Jaeger for Cafe as well, obviously feeling himself 6'9" already. It seems taking more of a utility-based defender role, as he's going to be over on the Malusi, and then Flutch gets taken out in the first couple seconds.
Buck being brought to the table is surprising, definitely surprising, for an operator that was one of the main staples of any attacker lineup for many, many seasons. This season, he really has been left into the dust. Losing the nades has always been a big stinger for Buck. And, in this kind of meta where you already are bringing Sledge for the nade, you don't need another soft destruction. A Sledge plus a Buck was already rare enough, and whenever Sledge is the kind of go-to of the two, you don't need the other one. So Buck was not played at all. So it is strange seeing the Buck be played. Oh, no.
I mean, you're talking about the book there, Demo, and there's a great demonstration that Toro's given you 6'9".
I wouldn't give Buck the credit. I would definitely say that 6'9" is... Ooh.
I mean, I think there's probably some keyboard banging going on.
Look at this!
Because that is
oh my word.
Nemo going to find one over onto Ziosh, but at this point, you can't help but think it's a bit too little too late. Comes out with a double kill, however, as the Nitro swings and hits, and, well... After an explosive first round here on Cafe, and these two teams are certainly delivering. 6'9" just taking too long to line up his shots. Toro with the turn and burn, but Nemo coming up with a little bit of reassurance. Finding a double kill, leveling out that man count, putting it back in the defender's favor, as there is 30 seconds left for these two remaining attackers to execute. And look at the hit points that we're dealing with. A lot of chip damage has been dealt over onto the side of Renji. Toro and Senji both sitting at less than half hit points. Interestingly, that wall has been left soft, and Toro's going to be allowed access there, or at least a line of sight, as 15 seconds remain, and, well, half reach now being deployed. Senji looking to try and gain access. Nemo on for a triple kill. It's all looking very good here for White Tigers. The push comes on through. There wasn't a lot of time to deal with. It's going to be a Maestro Cam that finds the final kill. Nemo doing huge work there for his team.
Nemo Incredible. That was what, 2v4 they pulled it back? After a disaster upstairs, for Nemo then to realize that, hey, we've just lost our entire foothold in our own game. I need to do something. And the first instant he thought was, I'm going to run up red stairs and just start firing my weapon. And he managed to pick up 2 kills from doing that. That was just phenomenal from Nemo. You cannot fault him in how he played that, and that's exactly what White Tigers need. In moments where stuff isn't going right, you need somebody who will step up and all of a sudden pull it into your advantage. And Nemo right now is showing to me that he is one of those players.
Do you think that 6ix9ine is trolls-ing?
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Nothing demo?
You got a little, you know the nose last, where you just blow like a little bit of air out of your nose?
Yeah?
One of those, that's what you got.
You've got to exasperate that a little bit, though, through the stream nose. It's got to be like a real...
That worked? I don't know if they heard that.
No, I don't think we heard it.
Okay, you'll get this. You'll get a chuckle. There you go. There's a chuckle.
Well, I thought it was a reasonable one, you know?
10 seconds remaining.
Renji are going to be feeling a little bit hard done to, I think, after that previous round. Just strong, bold start from Toro, and really was all down to Nemo.
Attackers are moving out
He was
to
able to find
locate
a
a bomb
kill
and defuse it.
as he pushed his way on, really biting back from those attackers. Something that's quite interesting is that there was no utility placed on those red stairs. Bit of an air jab, bit of a drone.
They need an air jab. Yep.
Just to give Renji a little bit of peace of mind that there was going to be no rotation, because, you know, Cafe is a map you've pretty much got to bring the Nomad if you want that surety and you want to be able to operate. So it seemed very strange that there wasn't going to be an air jab placed on those red stairs. They're usually the hot spot, of course, stairs, the bar stairs as well. That's where we would see 6ix9ine pushing up from and get turned and burned. But I don't really know where the air jab got placed in that previous round. Moving on now to a top floor objective. It's going to be a much different affair here for Renji as they try to gain access.
Yeah, just an interesting topic on the Nomad. This is one of her most banned maps. You know, we see a lot of teams ban out the Nomad. They know how strong that she can be to cut off the rotations and free sets of staircases, and not only that, it limits your jump out potential in a lot of those windows, which aggressive teams, they don't want to have to deal with, so they will happily ban that out and sacrifice, you know, like a Maverick ban. Usually Nomad as Thatcher is like the go-to bans we see. But not this time around, Nomad being available. But yeah, like you said, you know, where were the traps? How come we see Nemo rotate up? How was that allowed to happen? Tough to really see. 6ix9ine, though, he opens up with a first kill, which is, I think, expected of what we know he can bring to the table. Obviously had a very rough last defensive split for Theme Park. But maybe Cafe defense is where he really shines.
I think from 6ix9ine so far, we're going to be expecting those, you know, hero or zero plays almost demo. We know that he's capable of doing it, but obviously there's just a little bit more refinement that he needs to make as a player, and that's perfectly fine, and that's probably what we're going to be seeing from here on out. He's going to get a drone there on yellow. Obviously playing on the Mozzie. He's got the option to rotate down and go through Bakery and potentially up the red stairs, but there's some nice drone work going on here from Renji. They're getting some good pre-placed out, so Toro can do a little bit of work from the dead in watching those. Bit more pressure now being applied over onto site. Oh,
nice pick, though. That will put down 6ix9ine, and like you mentioned, he is either a hero or zero. And, well, I mean, he got 1 kill, does get traded back off, though, but doesn't help whenever Tracker is still getting more kills for himself, and that's a double for him. Now it's a 3 versus 4. Hear the air jabs, so they definitely do have some flank watch, and here comes the diffusers. Renji looking for, oh, what a C4 meets them from, I think, just tossed from the corridor. Look at this, it seems to be the White Tigers. They hold on, they manage to muster up the courage to peek some of those angles onto the attackers, and it rewards them.
Navarre played a really nice angle there as he was waiting for that C4 toss to come through. Obviously, had good information that that's where a player was inside of that fireplace, looking to push their way on in and sneak that diffuser down, and cracking C4 throw, rendering that diffuser useless, cold on the ground, and it was then a swinging game. It was the White Tigers that came out on top. But in the first 2 rounds this time, as we did see him going equal in Theme Park, but they do seem to be streaking a bit of a lead here, as particularly Winnow and Nemo both putting up decent numbers. Navarre as well. 3 kills apiece in the opening 2 rounds. The damage getting dished out there as Renji just struggling to find response at the moment and really struggling to round up these defenders.
So 2-0, it's a very strong lead already with your defense. And I think Cafe, it's either very back and forth, like kind of what we've seen from Theme Park, or it can just be like monumental, like 5-0, 6-0, that kind of map. You know, I think more times or not, we see like a 5-1 split. I think that's like the most average thing for Cafe is like a 5-1 split.
It sounds about right. It's not an easy map to attack onto. There's only a couple of clears that you can do, you know, you can either get on the roof and get through hatches and, you know, work your way that way, or you can sort of fight your way uphill and try and gain access through the ground floor and work your way through. And neither are foolproof, both come with their own obstacles.
10 seconds remaining.
Arguably attacking onto one of the more difficult bomb sites here, as of course Wamai is banned, but there's still going to be a lot of utility to deal with inside of that piano room. You can see both 6 just in the bottom of your screen in that location.
Oh my
God. To Zeosh. You can't pick who you're going to get in a peek, but to remove the Nomad and Zeosh is a fantastic opener for these White Tigers. And I think Navarre is going to be very pleased that that one came off.
That is like luck 100 right there. Like if we're playing Skyrim and there's a skill tree, he's got the luck enchant 100%. Yeah. Don't know how he pulled that one off, but he did. He probably himself was sitting there thinking, well, how have I done that?
The thing is, one of those pre-fires, you've just got to shoot your shot, because you miss every shot you don't take. You've got to get yourself out there, give it a good go, and 1 time out of 100 it's going to work. It just so happens that this time, for Navarre, it worked in a CCS game where they're going to get a man advantage yet again and put themselves in a really good position to go 3-0 in terms of round count.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That's a great start for White Tigers once again, and honestly, the way the White Tigers have set themselves up on this defense is looking very, very strong, and the fact that they've been able to eliminate that Nomad makes it even more so. Like, you look at how they're playing, Ollie, this is like flank central. You know, they have numerous roamers who could rotate down at any moment. I am worrying about the lack of utility that is placed in towards White Stairs, because it looks as if they have none, and that's an easy nade into JS pushing up, finds that kill. Now it's a 4v4, and they have White control. Maestro's gone as well. How have they flipped this on their head? It's a minute 20 to go, and it looks as if that White Tigers, they're really struggling.
Yeah, as the collapses come in, White Tigers haven't really got all too much to deal with it. As you say, not even any barbed wire on those White Stairs, allowing free access for Jay Ash to push his way all the way on through. 6ix9ine now going to be in that White Stairs location, as Jay has got himself locked inside of Laundry. 6ix9ine going to get gifted a chance at a double here. Doesn't have a C4 remaining in hand, but will pick up 1 and dip. Just play a little bit more passively. There's still live ping information, and JS is going to make good use of it. 6ix9ine hits a double. It looks as though he may have to go pretty huge to win this round. JS going to be there, ready and waiting. It's going to be a battle of who can peak best. Both players very low health. This could be the final gunfight of this round, but no! JS is going to win that one out. Triple kill on the round now in a 1 versus 1. 30 seconds left remaining, but he has to go through Nemo. He has to go through the smoke. Going for a little bit of an alternate approach. Only 24 seconds remaining. He hasn't got all the time in the world to play with. Going to look to move himself up yellow stairs and enter through Cigar. Nemo seems to have intel on this, but it's a long-range engagement challenge with the kits that Nemo has at his disposal. Nemo still looking the wrong way. Pre-fire shots come out. That's going to give Jay Ash away now. The fuse is going to be cold. He has to thirst. He has to search after this kill. He's surely been spotted at this point, and Nemo is playing Find Me. He doesn't get found. White Tigers, they're going to win out on that round.
Nearly got that one. They had a Maestro turret. Were they not telling their smoke that, hey, he's pushing you from the bomb site? No? So they just think, oh, he's coming free. No, that... Yeah, weird that, and they almost threw that. One specific moment there that really changed it was, again, we have to highlight that Nomad getting picked off. losing that Nomad early on, first of all, you lose free flashbangs, which, as we know in this meta, you need as much utility as you can. You lose the air jabs, more specifically, especially whenever they were going for an east side take, which is more of the niche approach. Usually we see take red stairs into piano, into freezer. That's the kind of go-to. But not in this circumstance. This time we went from east side. They tried to go in below. They brought the buck for that verticality, the skeleton key. Not only can it be used like sledge, where you can go above, but you can also go below and start bucking the attackers as they're above you. So there is that option you can bring to the table. They brought that. It worked for them. I believe they got a kill onto the Maestro. But as they were waiting for the swing in, I believe for whoever had the diffuser on east side, we seen the jump out from Mozzie, and that's because they didn't have the Nomad. If there was a Nomad charge there, it could have been sat. No, Mozzie jumps out. That's an easy kill for the whoever's repelling. That just shows the impact and how strong Nomad can be.
And at that point for 6ix9ine, it was the right play, because what he was able to do was waste a
He knew
of time.
Knew he could go for it, yeah.
He knew he could go for it. He knew he has, Nemo on site, smoke, 3 gas canisters, all the utility in the world to keep himself alive. All we had seen there from 6ix9ine. With a bit of time wasted, exactly what we got. It sounds as though somebody has got the AA shotgun, and that somebody is going to be Navarre. I don't think he's going to be spawn peeking with it this round. It's possibly not as effective as the Alpha.
Oh, it is. Trust me, it is. 2 times with that shotgun. Yeah, you want to use that.
It slug, doesn't it? But it isn't like a Boss G level of slug.
I swear, that gun is phenomenal. That gun is. I run that instead of the Aldo. It is that good. It does your structability. It has it 2 times. All it takes like 4 shots and you're dead. And it goes pretty fast. All it goes is do, and the guy's dead. That's it.
What's it got like down?
Do.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
I just wanted to check.
Yeah.
J-Ash going to aggressively jump his way down the skylight. Takes out the static cam and looks to pressure toward these yellow stairs. Even though he hasn't counted or droned, but that isn't going to matter. 6ix9ine carelessly swings onto the number and is going to get taken out. An instant trade as Flutch once again baits out the kill over onto 6ix9ine. Toro there for the refrag, but is Flutch going to be as aggressive to peek? He doesn't really have to at this point. He can just play these white stairs and live out the rest of his days, just applying a little bit of pressure. He's going to be found there on a drone, but the drone is since spotted and Flutch going to retreat further. He really doesn't want to get caught out here.
Minute 30, 4-4. Ash gone, Melusi gone. I think an alright trade. Probably better for the defenders. Obviously losing Ash is a big utility dump operator. So yeah, that's important to really for the defenders to make sure that she's gone out of the picture. Whenever they're not running Sophia as well, the ability to destroy shields at a distance is pretty much null and void. And there goes the sledge. Rips away the castle barricade and gets an easy kill onto the castle. So that does give them the upstairs control, but I mean, a minute to go. I think they've done a great job at really wasting the time, as we said. And oh, there's the C4 off the proximity alarms as well. You don't see that every day, Ollie.
Nemo found the C4 there as going to level the man count back to an equal 3 apiece. 40 seconds left remaining. Toro now looking to make some inroads, onto that freezer wall as Ziosh is going to respond in kind to Navarre as the earlier spawn peak abuser was taken out. It levels things up. And the 2 defenders remaining, Flutch and Nemo. Don't have a great bit of utility to speak of between them. No C4 in hand for Nemo this time, as we've seen him put on to good effect before. Instead, he's going to be left peeking onto freezer door. He's got live ping, he knows the information. Does he realise that the player has swung on through? No, turns away at the wrong moment. Taken out from above as Ziosh finds that final kill over onto Flutch.
Finally, Renji, they get their first round on the board. That was a better execute on towards their freezer. I mean, upstairs, I think their roam clear was very strong. The C4 kill off the proximity alarms was very, very sneaky from White Tigers, but then again, it left them without a C4 to really deny that plant. We've seen where Nemo had to play. If he had that C4, he could have played a lot more deeper in sight, waited for the default plant in towards, where coffee would be. C4 that, easy kill, probably don't have enough time as well. Flutchwagon upstairs as well, trying to create some pressure. Just not working for them though, however. Yeah, just I think for Renji that round, they did the basics right, which really won them that
Attackers
round.
need to locate and defuse as many bombs as
Let's see if it is going to be enough, as White Tigers have looked pretty dominating so far. But we saw the same in Theme Park. White Tigers streaked a little bit of a lead, came out of the first phase at 4 rounds to 2, and still managed to take us to max OT. Renji certainly have a lot of fight in them as a team. How much fight have they got here on Cafe? Only time will tell. One upstairs being invested in here is the norm for this bomb site. And so far we've not really seen Renji do an effective job at the drone clear. It's been good, but it hasn't been as clean as it potentially could be.
Still losing bodies there. Flawlesses, not really so far. I think a good flawless would really set them apart.
A good what, sorry? A good flawless?
Yeah, a good flawless.
Just for a bit of a confidence boost for the old Renji team. I mean, at this point, they've all got onto Repel, and they're making their way up to the roof intact, which is a bonus. I think they probably would have liked that back in round number 3.
Like, Cafe, getting out of spawn is the tough bit, you know? That's like... Honestly, one thing that I think a lot of teams should do is just go along, like, all the windows on the west side and just punch them all out. Because attackers have to sit there for like a good 30 seconds looking at them and slowly moving their way up onto the building. And that wastes already 30 seconds gone before they even set foot on the rooftop.
Toro making his entry there into Piano, as that's been left soft. Reinforcements instead been deployed elsewhere. Desperately searching out for these vulnerable cameras now. I don't think he's going to find that. It's going to be quite a nice one there. But Nemo does get found, as the shield is going to be shot out from under him, and the upside down repel on the white window. Giving the results for Ziosh that he needs. Now able to apply an air jab as well. Stop any rotation coming on. Oh, Nemo going to find one and then get catapulted down to the safety of that first floor.
So much destruction above, and does push the Jaeger back into his hole of the bomb site. And this quick drone work upstairs, see that it's all good, and now they can get themselves in and amongst the upstairs. Obviously, we can have the Buck or the Sledge do some really good destruction above. But where are they going to go with that? One thing, though, that I always find interesting about raiding is that you can defend it without actually being in the bomb site. Pillars is a big area to do that, and as proven, Pillars is a dangerous place to really step as an attacker, and I think Flutchwagon, he's shown that pretty damn well.
Flutch just deleted Toro there. That was an incredible kill coming through. Senji looking for the response, but he's going to struggle to find it, I think, at this point. 35 seconds left, and as an attacker, you can't be static trying to hold on to an angle. You need to be looking at aggressing down onto site here, because there really isn't anything else to be done upstairs. You've got to get those defenders moving, and at the minute, they've not got much of a reason to move. Drop comes in, and all three of them are going to make that drop as the wall does attempt to be open. 6-9 is still with potential flank. He's still going to flank upstairs and use the angles against the attackers that have previously been made. 10 seconds remain, and he's going to have to start going down very shortly. Renji looking to get that plan down as the retake now comes through. Navarre gets taken out by Notorious. The shoulder cover is sufficient. Flutch finds one, but the diffuser is confirmed. Looking now for a little bit of a pinch as both the defenders come on through. Nemo, he's on for a double on the round, goes for a swing yet again, but doesn't seem to be working off too much information. Final kill there going to come through for 6-9. There is plenty of time to defuse that diffuser.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
Nice retake from White Tigers, and yes, they got the diffuser down, but this is the thing about the bomb site. Even if everything's getting ripped above the defenders, they can just take a back seat. They can play somewhere else in the mid floor and then just retake as easy as what they done. You know, that just shows where White Tigers, they understand how they play Cafe, and you know, 4-1 up, it shows that they're very well coordinated. I think we can say very safely that 6-9 has become a different defense player on Cafe than what he was in Theme Park.
Even just going even, Demo, it's doing a bit for his team, and he's obviously getting the utility out there. The pressure of playing on the Jaeger and having to go out there and get the kills, that's something that Flutch is dealing relatively well with, because although he's sitting on the same scoreline as 6-9, the kills that are coming through from Flutch are often trades. is often, you know, getting himself in that position where he can get the traded kill if 6ix9ine does fall in that opening gunfight, which has happened a couple of times, and there isn't anything wrong with that as long as you get the trade off the back of it. And that's something that we've seen pretty successful so far on the side of White Tigers.
It's the Maestro shotgun, rattles away, and it starts making a lot of those holes that will obviously help this defensive hold in towards the mining and dining side of things, which using a castle to do it, it's a risky one. I think trying to defend upstairs on a kitchen, you have to play it well, and your roamers really have to be on top of their game. How do you feel about this, Sol? Because I don't know if I'm entirely... I don't think I'm sold on it.
It all depends. I think Renji have been very hit and miss on dealing with the roamers, as we can see. Flush being very aggressive there, going for a bit of a spawn peek. Isn't going to come to anything this time. Renji do tend to struggle on attacking a little bit in terms of time management. We do see them often finding themselves having to rush in those dying few seconds. And if the roamers are going to attribute to that, then it's going to be even easier, I think, for White Tigers to start picking round wins. I'm not too sure about, you know, roaming all the way up on the top floor and committing that many bodies to it. It does seem as though White Tigers have toned it back a little bit. At the minute, they've maybe only got one person up on that top floor, instead choosing to, you know, play a little bit more on the first.
Where are they going to start from? It looks to be completely from top-down aspects. They're going to take in from piano and in towards the bar, work their way down. Obviously, this takes more time to do. You know, you're eating up already a minute gone. They haven't even made headway in the mid-floor yet. This does give you more security in terms of, you know, that you don't have to worry about getting attacked from above as well as you're attacking mid-floor. And also, it cuts off some flanks from the defenders. Interesting, though, from the attacking side, they're going to use their sledge to open up different angles to try and, I think, find the castle. They're going to try and go for Wino, which I like the idea, but you're just eating more time and more utility. Like, keep in mind, Ollie, this isn't the bomb site.
And that's the point, though, is the time and the money that is being spent here is quite significant. Sure, we're going to find an opener onto Flutch. Reno is going to get downed in the process, but the kill gets traded out in the other direction. Nemo doing a good job at the top of those red stairs to deter any attackers from pushing on through. And the man count is all square with about a minute remaining. It's still going to be very difficult for the attackers to execute on because they've just got so much more work to do.
Yep.
That being said, 6ix9ine is going to get droned inside a bar as J-Ash is just going to be sneaking his drone in and around that area. Now we're seeing these attackers looking to make a little bit more headway, looking to pressure a little bit further onto that side floor.
Gonna have to move quick. They need to get their Ash in a position where she can burn the utility and potentially try and... Oh, he doesn't even have any nades. He's wasted his nades. So that's not going to help them with clearing out areas such as coffee. So that does leave the Maestro in a great position now to really deny that drop. Wonder if Ace is going to come around and open up in towards the freezer as well. I'm sure he will do, but like mentioned, that Maestro is going to be there. Flashbangs tossed in towards Kochek and 6ix9ine. Prone underneath the window, but that's an easy pre-fire. On the other end of the spectrum, another kill fires out. Sledge eliminates one, and that's a clean collapse onto the bomb site. We're speculating if Renji, could they pull it off with such little time? And the answer to that is, yes, they can.
Big important kill there, I think, over onto 6ix9ine. Very difficult situation to be in. And of course, last player alive on site, Nemo. It was only going to be a matter of time until he got discovered. A 4-2 split. Where have we seen this before, Demo? Of course, it was over on Theme Park. White Tigers now moving on to the attack, as it's Renji's turn to take things over onto the defense. This really could come down to just 1 or 2 attacking rounds won. We'll have to see how the White Tigers perform now.
(4-2) split. Now we switch over. White Tigers on the attack. And we go straight for Kitchen for Renji. Changes in the lineups. Also bringing a Buck, which is very strange to me. What is with the teams bringing the sledge and the buck? I don't see this a lot.
It's a difficult one, isn't it, Demo? I think if you're unsure as to the site that they're going to go onto, then maybe maybe the buck's a better option. You know, in case they're going to go up to that top floor straight off the rip, you've got a little bit more versatility there. The sledge is going to do everything you need it to for you know, all the other bomb sites essentially. I don't know. It really is just going to be down to a preference thing. Nemo's on his game today. We've seen him hitting some shots, so he maybe just fancies running onto the buck, or there's maybe some specific use that we've got in mind. But I really do feel like you're missing out on the Nomad in the White Tigers lineup. That's something that is pretty non-negotiable for me on Cafe.
I like this though, punching open the windows. What do you see how slow it's going to take them to get out now? What do you see? Look, sitting there holding, chasing ghosts, playing Phasmophobia. Nobody's there. Nobody's home.
Plenty of pre-fires going into the common spots as White Tigers just spending a little bit longer than they need to check all those windows. As you say, Demo, it is a nice bit of a time sink.
Yep.
Already 40 or so seconds gone off the clock, and a great deal of progress has been made. Bit of drone work now to go out. A much more direct approach here from White Tigers. They're not going for this extended replay. They're not going for a lot of vertical control. They're really going to look to brute force Bakery.
I don't know how they're going to make it work, though. The whole point of holding above as a defender is you can deny access to site. Similar to what Consulate, Garage, in terms of people playing in piano, they can deny access to the breach. Exact same thing can happen. And not only that, there is a mute on the side of Renji. There is no Thatcher. There is no Maverick. There is no Kali being brought by White Tigers. They cannot get through the breach. They have made a very big error not going above, and now this is going to cost them not only in the utility dump, because as you can see, they're using it all onto the bomb site, but also just trying to get away with it with time. I mean, you're going to be sat here, you're basically running into a brick wall. You're not getting past a smoke on this angle. You're not getting past him. There's also a mute beside with a shotgun. You're not going to do it. You just can't.
I think Fluchwagon's going to have a big part to play upstairs. You can see him threatening to clear that mining room and train room. And even him just being there is providing enough of a distraction so as these defenders not being able to hold angles vertically. And maybe we will see an attacking push just able to sneak on through. Nemo is going to join the fray as well as he makes his way up those red stairs, and probably working off a little bit of information here as maybe they still know that somebody is playing inside of train. Victorious framed up for a very aggressive run out here, and the sooner he does it, the better. He goes for the run out there, he's going to secure the kill. Maybe gets traded on the way back in, but at this point it is not going to matter at all. Nemo goes for the swing, finds one, ready and waiting for the second. He's being traded on in the site as well, as an aggressive push has had to come on through. Nemo almost being rendered useless now as he's got basically no health to speak of. He's going to get himself against the full health. Jaeger goes for the shots through the wall. Great heads up play there from Nemo taking down Notorious. But look at how much time remains. 10 seconds only. C4's being ripped. Swing. Won't even need to hit as the final 3 kills come through with gunpowder alone. Renji picking up their first round on defense.
Easy for Renji. White Tigers, they just had it all wrong from the get-go. Whenever you're playing with the Thatcher and Maverick bans, it forces you to go upstairs. Like, you can't get through that. All it takes is a bandit kite or a mute as exhibited, and you're done. You can't get through the walls. You have to go above and shoot it from the vertical angles. And White Tigers, they just didn't realize that. And just Renji, it was very, very simple for them to hold their angles. And I do worry if that's how White Tigers, if they choose to keep going in that same direction where they just want to brute force their way, it's not going to work.
Yeah, White Tigers really need to come up with a little bit more of a succinct plan for taking it onto that bakery. They won't have to worry about it for a couple of rounds now, however.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Guaranteed to see a different side here. We're going to go upstairs to bar and cocktail. But something certainly to consider. That brute force attempt really did not pay any dividends for them. They were able to get picked off very nicely indeed. Shaping up to be a very similar scoreline to that we saw over on Theme Park Demo, as these two teams really do duel it out in week 1 here.
Definitely starting to get a bit of a pullback for Renji. And yeah, it is pretty much the exact same scoreline, if I'm not mistaken. Renji, so 4-2 on opening kills. Then they just couldn't close it out.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
And that's something that's going to cost you. You know, it's all well and good getting the opening kill, but you've got to be able to secure that man advantage. And you know what we're not seeing in that statistic, even though it is correct, is that how many of those opening kills went traded instantly by players like Flutch. You know, because all of a sudden then it's a bang for bang, it's 1-for-1, it's equal. Losing an attacker is much more detrimental, usually to losing a defender, particularly a defender that you're going to find out there on the roam, putting themselves at risk. And that's something that we saw time and time again coming out. And again, another little edge that White Tigers had, and something that they look to capitalize on.
Hopefully now for White Tigers, if they want a brute force attack, this is probably the best site to do so. I think Piano, you need to have a good bit of force behind your push. Piano is always going to be a tough one to attack. You know, the utility dump with the numerous amount of angles you have to go up against. I can name probably at least 5 different angles if you enter into Piano you have to always check, which already it's a worry to get in there, but just even takes more time. You know, you have to take your time to drone out these specific angles that you never know. You know, they could be or they could not be there. I see a Clash come into the fray of things as well. I like this pickup. Mira, a very strong operator for this bomb site specifically, is banned out. Clash is like Mira. It is a walking form of information where you can't get destroyed easily. You know, you have to use a lot of utility to clear out a Clash, and especially in a very strong position, that is that corner in Piano, then yeah, obviously it's going to be tough.
Is Ziosh framing himself up for another aggressive run out or not? Only time will tell with that one. Clash playing upstairs is going to be hella difficult to remove. A good nade came in and it did a good number of damage over onto J-Ash, but just wasn't quite enough. And the White Tigers, they're going to be looking for a different line of attack here. As J-Ash still playing inside of that pixel
ADS.
corner. It doesn't really look as though they've got much of a plan as to how to deal with him. Time's still ticking on down.
ADS grabbed that all-important Ash round that was trying to eliminate the shield that Smoke is playing behind, and oh, that's a rough one. And now Renji, potentially, they could try and storm away and even it up here, as with a 4v5 advantage, with your Clash still alive, with Smoke still on the board to delay the rounds, and everyone from White Tigers, they have to push in through that toxic babe. It's going to be really tough for them to pull this round out.
It isn't looking any easier at all as kills do start to trade. Toro finds a nice freebie onto 6-9, but levels things out at 2 apiece. A lot of hit points remaining, on J-Ash, but a Clash in this sort of situation is exactly what you need. The diffuser, however, is being confirmed, and we can see an attacker marching his way over toward the Clash, but it is not going to be enough. Toro was able to swing on through, get the kill onto Nova as he was planting. That was all she wrote. Clash doing what she does best, which is wasting time and slowing down pushes.
White Tigers, Sledge specifically, chased the kill onto the Clash instead of covering the planter, and it cost them. He's seen the moment of glory thinking, hey, I'm going to kill the Clash, guys, but no. The guy planting the diffuser, he dead, so you don't win.
No, you don't win with a dead diffuser planted.
No,
that's it's just a no can do, I'm afraid.
Wait, really? You're telling me you can't plant the diffuser if you're dead?
No.
Wow, didn't know that. Crazy.
Maybe that's why I don't play at any reasonable level.
I mean, who plants the diffuser, realistically?
Kendrick? I don't know.
Kenneth, yes. That's it. The only one. I mean, granted, like, the fact that in Siege throughout history, there's notable people who were known for planting diffusers. Like, that's crazy. And in an FPS, you're known for planting. That's crazy.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Yeah, you know, It is a little bit. I mean, it goes down to the roles of siege as well. You've got to have those people in the roles, and the people that are in that planting role are going to be the ones that you remember. But like you say, you can remember a lot more flaggers than you can remember.
That is very true.
Consistently get that defuse down as it does just. It's just such a dice roll. Honestly, the diffuser, it almost feels sometimes like it's a nice to have. It isn't necessarily the objective of every single round.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, whenever you're carrying a diffuser, I think it puts a lot of weight on your shoulders. Because it's like, if you have the diffuser, you know you can't take challenges that you would normally want to. Like, even if you know that you can 100% guarantee a kill, you still don't peek it because you don't know what else could happen to you and you could lose the diffuser in a really bad spot. Like, that's the whole thing with the diffuser, is it's the holy grail. You can't lose that.
It's a hot potato.
I mean, if it was a hot potato, you'd want to get rid of it, which they don't want to do. They want to keep the potato.
It's a perfect temperature.
Room temperature.
No, I'd like it a bit more than room.
Okay. So a warm potato is what you're asking for.
Yeah, like a tepid potato.
Oh my word. First blood goes in favor of White Tigers, though. That's Valkyrie gone, and Jash, and whenever he has a C4 at his disposal, that's a big kill to get on the board very, very early. We've seen so many times where a C4 can be the make or break of a round.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been
Utility
dropped.
there getting pinned out by Winnow on the drone as waiting for the push to come on through. This top floor clear looking quite successful so far from the White Tigers. It has come at very little cost to them up until this point. I'm sure they'll try and continue that. Silvar on the side of Freezer. Looking to open on open, just apply a little bit more pressure toward the top of Lumber, and it's going to do just that. It's going to force Ziosh to push on down. He's still on the yellow stairs, but not in a position to challenge as of yet. A lot of angles to worry about as well. As Freezer's been opened, he's got one white corridor to deal with as well. As more drone work gets done, but the C4 kill will come through from Senji. Ziosh finds one as well, as his timing and positioning throughout the course of the evening has been pretty darn good, and this time it's resulted in yet another kill.
Nemo, sliver of HP. He has to be careful of how he wants to play out this round. 4 people still alive for Renji. This is going to be tough, I say that. Only 3. Which does make it more doable for White Tigers, but still, it's going to be a bit of a slog. Upstairs is where they all are stationed. Now they're going to start working their way down. It's going to be Wino. Let's see how he wants to play with that SMG in hand. And
15 seconds left.
I get exactly what he's doing. He's trying to muffle the sound. He's trying to create
10 seconds
sound effects. So that allows Wino to push down White Stairs, get a kill, but it doesn't matter anyway, as Renji, they still have enough players to hold on to the bomb site, and they take the lead.
We said at the start, Cafe can be a difficult map to attack onto, especially for teams that struggle just ever so slightly with that coordination, and it's exactly what we are seeing here tonight. Renji now, for the first time this evening, do propel themselves into the lead. 1 round away from a match point, 2 rounds away from confirming this map and taking us all the way to Oregon. White Tigers need to wake themselves up, as they can't afford to let this one slip.
Again, this is one of those games where you just don't know where it's going to go. It's been so back and forth. I mean, granted, it has been, what, 3 defenses in a row right now for Renji? White Tigers just struggling right now to get on their attacks. And I see the Cali come back into things. I know exactly why they've done this. As we've seen from the last time they attacked Kitchen, they just tried to go straight from Bakery. It doesn't work if you don't have a Cali, because the mute jammers on the wall are going to make that impossible. Thankfully, though, for them, there is no Bandit. There is no Tide that they have to worry about. It's just the mute. If it's just the mute, Kali can just fire one of her gadgets, and that takes care of that. Ace can then go ahead and get the breach open. Mute jammers, I don't think, are going to be mute tricked. That doesn't really exist. I mean, it does kind of exist, but it's like a 1 in a million chance that it actually works. So yeah, there's that to consider. I think this is definitely much more stronger lineup for White Tigers, but I still worry, though, is if they're not taking above, the defenders, they're just going to go above and open up all the different angles they can.
I'd like to see the White Tigers adapt a little bit here, because what we saw them do back in round number 7 really didn't work out too well for them at all. Renji have done exactly the same as the White Tigers did, in that they won their first 3 defensive rounds, and they've taken a little bit of a tour here of Cafe. It's now on the side of White Tigers to do a little bit more of that road clear. I'm hoping beyond hope that seeing Flitch picking up onto the Jackal is giving them that little bit of an option. This is an interesting way to play Bakery Demo, because we spoke so heavily about how important that wall was. Now Renji are going to play with this open, and they're just going to try and keep a Jaeger alive inside a Bakery who's already lost that ground. There's now a soft wall ready to be opened inside of sight, giving them a direct line of access.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, it's been reinforced over as well. Notorious
My
being
word.
very cheeky here. Renji there really playing a bit of a mental mind game with the side of White Tigers, just giving them a little bit of glimmer of hope and then taking it right away from them.
It's like they've been pranked. You know, it's like one of those Roman Atwood pranks where hey, you've been pranked.
Loading new mag.
Is it like punked? If someone gonna, like, fly
That's
through
a
the
very
window?
American term. Every time I think, I don't know, whenever I think of, hey, I've just been punked, I think of like J.K. Simmons on, I don't know, or something. I don't know why. I don't know why I think of Simmons, but I do.
I'm not sure that is Demo.
J. Jonah Jameson is who he plays in Spider-Man. Maybe you're more familiar with his work.
Not a big Marvel guy.
Get me a new caster. I can't work with this.
I appreciate your memes. I don't always
Can't do
understand
this.
them.
Can't do this. Can't do
A
this.
bomb has been located.
It's a good punt from production. If chat could hear production there, they'd be very pleased with that punt. It's better than any of the ones we've made all night.
Why swing? And that's gave White Tigers now a 2-gap lead, but from above now. Ziosh, I think he's a little bit late to the party though to really open up these angles. As White Tigers, they're starting to tear everyone limb to limb inside of the bomb site. And Toro, I mean, he is in the long angle, but it's an MPX. That's not going to do much. That's a pea shooter. Still trying his best though. A Kali shot goes past his head, and Seahawks still trying to do something from above, and they have pulled back 2 kills, and Diffuser is called onto the ground. Another one creeps up, and Ziosh 2 for 2 now. How has this occurred?
Nemo desperately trying to get that Diffuser down. He is the last man standing, as of course Flitch was already down. The Kali sniper isn't going to be the weapon we want coming out of that, and he's not even going to get to come out of it. Renji propel themselves onto a match point there. Ziosh and Toro keeping their team in it. And I think that White Tigers just got a little bit too careless there. They had a 5-3 man advantage, and it ended up slipping through their claws.
I think it was a 5-2 at a stage, I think. Golly, that was a work of art from Renji. I'm lost for words. White Tigers, they have 5 men alive. They have site control of where they want to plant. They done their whole thing in Bakery. They walk in. All they had to do was get the Diffuser, hold F for 7 seconds, and that would have been it. But no, they started chasing kills. They started trying to aggress onto the Mulisi upstairs, who realistically wasn't even that much of an issue. Sure, he's upstairs. He doesn't have the same holes as what he's had previously. Yeah, I don't know. White Tigers, they're chasing. They're trying to do too much, where really less is more for them right now.
Yeah, White Tigers, it's just a big missed opportunity there. As your clean feed for us? No, we're back in business.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
There we go.
bombs.
It was just having a momentary think. The game knows that we're going into a very important round here, as Renji there on match point. White Tigers 2 rounds away from taking this to an overtime. Now, White Tigers did win map number 1 over on Theme, but they had a better time over on the attack on Theme Park. Here, they've struggled to pick up a singular round, losing 4 in a row. It doesn't honestly feel like that's going to change anytime soon. Renji have just got a much better handle of dealing with White Tigers here on Cafe. Makes sense because Cafe is Renji's map pick.
5 seconds to
So we
insertion.
could be going to Oregon here, Demo.
As you can see, Storming Back is the title that we have put on for the show that Renji are showing us. Yeah, they have been phenomenal. They haven't dropped a defense yet, and I don't think they will. I think we're heading to Oregon. White Tigers on this attacking side, just trying to do too much, and it's getting confusing for them. They're muddling up their strategies. I think the communication is very clear and lacking. You know, from above, the Melusi, not really doing much, and then they all push them at the same time. There's no coordination. Diffuser wasn't getting planted. Just a big pile of ugh, I think it's the best way to kind of sum that up. But still, White Tigers, can they make this into an OT? They're going to need to if they want to keep it in and make sure it is a 2-0 in their favor. But I think Renji, they have that confidence, and Ollie, they're a French side. French teams with momentum, they're terrifying.
They're proving to be quite a terrifying prospect here. It's a very important round here for White Tigers. They don't want to give the opportunity of Oregon over to Renji. They really look to clear it here and now. As it stands, just over half the round remaining to decide whether we go to Oregon this round or not, or if White Tigers are able to hang on in there. They really struggled to deal with J Ash on the clash in the previous round, with Cali being brought this time by Nemo, just to try and add another prong to the spear of dealing with that, as, you know, he's in position. Going to get himself the ADS taken out. That's
really nice.
Even trade there, loses a slight bit of health, but it is to no effect to him. He can now look to start throwing some utility and to look to deal with that clash a bit further.
Yeah, the Cali pick is going to be great for them, but they need to coordinate with each other. Clash is still there, feeding that information. One thing about Clash is that she's not there to do damage. She is there for information. That is why she exists, is to give the defenders just something else to work off. And oh, that is a rough one. Heard him through the window, went for the shots, but no, Toro. Messi-like movement, you could say, on the window. Dribbles past him, eliminates him. Now it's a 4v4, and White Tigers, they've lost 6-9.
Navarre not got much help to speak of either, as the impact trick is going to be attempted. Ziosh getting himself locked into that freezer area. J-Ash still alive and kicking. Able to provide a lot of headache here for these attackers at the end of the final 25 seconds, and this one really looks as though it's going one way and one way only, as in the way of Renji. We're now looking to push his way up these wide stairs, but he's got a utility to deal with, and there's going to be a guy with a gun pointed in his direction. 11 seconds left remaining. He's now getting dropped on the ground, maybe getting shuffled across, but is it going to be enough? J-Ash has dropped the shield. That could be crucial. 4 seconds left, but it's not going to be enough time. Final kill comes through as a C4 from Toro. Renji, they're going to take map number 2, and Demo, we are locked in. We're going to Oregon.
Great stuff from Renji, not dropping a single defense on Cafe. Blue's looking really good for White Tigers at a period, and all of a sudden, bang, Renji on the defense. They become alive. They're a different breed. Granted, White Tigers, they had some real questionable moments for them in their attacks. Rounds that they should not have lost, but somehow they did. And yeah, I just don't know where we go now. Well, I mean, we do. We go to Oregon, but how's that going to play out? I don't even want to begin to imagine.
Couple of minutes. We're going to be swinging into Oregon. It's currently 1 apiece in this best of 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few. Sponsor TabStats. We are currently simulcasting through Twitch to tabstats.com. If you haven't checked them out, then do so, and you can do so without missing any of the CCS action, because we're of course embedded on their homepage over there. So if you want to check your stats in game, head over to tabstats.com. But we are going to jump now into Oregon, the third and final match in this best of 3 series. Let's see what these two teams can throw down for us.
Fatcherban, no surprise. Will we see a Maverick? Survey says. There it is. It's on the board.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Wamai and Mira, I'm guessing. I assume it is. Is it on the board, I wonder?
It's going to be fairly standard stuff, I think, Demo. You know, we've got the Thatcher ban, the Maverick ban. It's going the very similar way as we've seen all the other games go between these two teams. Wamai ban comes in on cue, and you can only imagine that this is going to be a very speedily picked mirror ban as well.
Has to be. Yep. No difference. God, I just want to sit down one day and I just see like just Ash, Jaeger, Sophia, and like Romer, Melusi. Bang, that's your bans. Deal with it. No entries for you.
I've just had a very interesting email demo.
All right, is it somebody asking you that say that they inherited 3 million from their late grandfather and that their stepmother's trying to take it away and they need your help with your bank details? Is that what?
No bank
you need to
details
embezzle
required.
3 million? You will keep 1 million of that money?
No, it's
until they get out of the country. Is that an email that you have received?
It's not. It's literally just says the subject line is your mic, and the body of the email is get your mic closer. It's hard to hear you.
Right.
I don't know who sent it. I don't know if you're watching in the stream. I appreciate the feedback. I have moved the mic and turned it up a little bit. I've not had any complaints from production, so I did think it was okay. But apparently, someone has gone to the trouble of finding my email address to send me that email, which I appreciate.
And then obviously underneath that, he said, "I have inherited $4 billion, and I'd like you to take some."
Yeah, he's asked for my bank details for the information that he's given. So yeah, obviously.
I mean, if we're going off emails, want to hear a built or one I got in the other day?
Hit me with it.
Let me get it. There it is. Okay. So this person is called Mr. Roy Peterson, and all he said is, "I have a donation of $4.5 million for you. Email me back on how to receive." That's it.
You emailing back?
No.
How are you going to know how to receive?
It's, I mean, I don't need the money. You know, if I had the money, I would miss out on the simple things in life.
5 seconds remaining.
What are the simple things in life, Demo?
Buying a Tesco meal deal.
Objective is to locate a bomb.
Oh, no, you got to up your meal deal game.
You know?
Nah, I'm not down with the Tesco's meal deal, I'm afraid. Morrison's meal deal? Nah, you
They don't exist over here.
There's no Morrison's in where you are?
Nope. Nope. Huh. Don't exist.
Well,
it's true.
I don't think that Morrison's exists in Oregon either, which is where we're throwing down for this game.
I see a ying right off the rip. I like to see the ying, because ying equals chaos, and chaos equals fun. I mean, chaos actually equals relegated, but we can't go there.
I don't think it's too soon.
It's never too soon. They were getting ripped into as soon as they lost. Could be Rogue, though. Could be 0019.
White Tigers. A team that so far tonight have had very hit and miss performances on the attack.
Yep.
And it looks as though Nemo has just missed.
But, yeah, do they ever miss? You got a girlfriend, Ollie?
Yes, sir.
I hope you see what I did there. Okay, I'm not laughing at your jokes anymore. This is the way it's supposed to.
I still don't understand
I laugh
your
at
joke,
yours,
Demo.
you laugh.
No, I still don't understand your joke.
That's the way it is. You're 26. You're a boomer. Get out of here.
I'm 27, actually. I'll have you know.
Get out of here. Get out of here. 120. Slow round. Coming in from, I think, very standard from bedroom. Kite charge gone. Let's open the wall. Another kite goes in. No, and that's an easy kill. Are we up by 69?
69 continuing the form that he had earlier on in the evening over on Theme Park, finding those opening kills as Ash. Could bode well for White Tigers. They need all the help they can get here on attack, and Iana gonna send the prism out, and Ziosh just gonna get caught out with that one. And of course, deny the information in the process. Yings are gonna swing in and miss, not really hitting anybody. Is it gonna give Navarre enough confidence to peek on? C4 toss is gonna be avoided. And there's still a bit of a battle going on the ground floor with Ziosh. Flutch and Winnow are really closing in on him. Ziosh going to be seeing fire from both sides. It's going to be Flutch that finishes off that kill. As a strong start here from the White Tigers. The diffuser now being confirmed, as they do have quite the man advantage, but kills are going to start to trade. Flutch is going to find one. A swing is going to be covered as that diffuser is confirmed. Notorious, he's able to find one. With a very low hit point Winnow to deal with, and Flutch at full health. Baits out the diffuser and the utility from the Zephyr, and it forces a rotate. Now it's going to be hard angles being held from these attackers, as Notorious is left desperately trying to find these final 2 kills. Pre-firing as he goes, he's going to instead jump on the diffuser once again, try and go for a bit more of a long arm situation. He knows he's exposed vertically here, as there's another Zephyr charge left ready to go. It is in fact going to get burnt through an ADS, and a swing from Winnow is going to be the finishing blow. White Tigers there picking up round number 1.
Yeah, that's an easy clear out for White. Having the downstairs control in the post plant is great for them. Seeing the Sophia come in, and then just a quick swing from the Iana. So no issues for White Tigers. That's a good way to get started. You know, we've speculated, Ollie, that White Tigers, they have had these meh moments at times, but if they can consistently stay at that level that they've just shown us, they should have no issues sweeping through Renji at all. No issues.
Round number 1 going toward the attackers there then. The Ying not really providing the impact that we were hoping for, although it did do a bit to disrupt and displace those defenders that were looking to play site. Renji confident that they can make something happen as they're choosing to go up to dorms yet again. I'd have thought they'd tried to really lock in that downstairs objective demo and really guarantee a round on the board here.
One thing that really surprises me as well is that the fact that on a map like Oregon, which is, you know, it's known for this kind of chaotic playstyle, where, you know, in the final minute, it just goes everywhere. You know, the amount of different angles that all comes into it. And one thing about White Tigers as well is that they took very minimal areas as well. Like, they only took what they needed, and they somehow still made it work, which is surprising. I think for a lot of teams that we see play, they go full out. You know, they have a guy in attic, you know, maybe 2 guys in attic, pushing on the double window, 1 pushing main breach. You know, they're all over the place, but they just took it bit by bit.
Yeah, they really didn't spread themselves too thinly, which was a big attributing factor in their success.
Sneaky. That's one that sometimes does catch people out, because it's like, it's a bad window, because all it takes is somebody going to attic, punch the window, you die. Because it's so predictable, it becomes unpredictable. It's like somebody hiding underneath a desk. It's so predictable that you don't expect it, and then you die from it.
Hidden in plain sight. Jash going to be falling early. There's the mute, likely had a C4 in his hand as well, which will go unused, and Renji could do with all the help that they could get at this point in this matchup. They don't really want to go too far behind, although how many times have we seen White Tigers streak a bit of a lead early on and then struggle to close things out? So far, both games, White Tigers really struggling on that overtime match point and letting it go all the way on Theme Park, and then getting a nice early lead on Cafe, but still squandering it all the same. They need to not make the same mistake again, as we're now looking to use his utility vertically and remove the ability for Mute to be able to replace Jammer, although of course Mute is dead, and Toro, well, he can still place an electrical, but it's likely to be shot out now, as you can already hear the wall being opened at just under the halfway point.
Trying to find out where they're coming from, and 6ix9ine very quickly snaps over to Toro's head, and he goes down, and Chenji, he's still on the run, but actually going to try and challenge against 6ix9ine, and oh, he whiffs the MPX, pistol comes out as well, misses shots. But it's actually not even 6ix9ine who gets the kill. It's going to be Wino, and now it's a 1v5 that Traco has to go big in, but it's going to be up against him to the highest degree. I don't know how he's going to get out of this one alive, Holly.
Well, it's looking like a bit of a tough task there as a flawless round ensues for White Tigers. We've not seen one of those since Theme Park. We'll be hitting off pretty strong here, opening things up with 2 clean rounds on Oregon.
Very, very good start for White Tigers, but Ollie, we can't call the race yet. We can't say, oh, look how good they're playing, so dominant. We said this, the cafe, and the cafe turned out very, very bad.
Yeah, the cafe wasn't good at all.
So we can't the gun just yet. You'll have to wait to see how they, more importantly, perform in their defense. Like we said, Siege, it's a game of 2 halves. You have to equally attack as well as you can equally defend, which can be tough for some teams. I mean, surprisingly for White Tigers, they had like good attacks for Theme Park, and then bad attacks for Cafe, which was strange.
Seems as though the stream is just freezing a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit of jumping. We go on. We push through.
A nice stable feed in a moment. Looking toward a downstairs objective. The White Tigers now desperately trying to claw something back.
10 seconds to go.
As they've lost the first 2 opening rounds, they're going down to what is seen to be one of the more viable sites. Of course, Dorms is viable, but White Tigers have a good idea of how they want to attack it. Renji, however, need to make something happen here. They don't want to go 3 rounds down so early on and leave themselves a lot of work to do on the attack. Although, what we've seen so far tonight, they're a bit more of an attacking side, it could be argued.
So we do go downstairs, where we haven't seen as of yet. I would say this is a better bomb site for Ying. I think it's a lot easier to control. They're going for a blue take. The way that Oregon usually works out, Ollie, is we have obviously 2 ways to push. You go either from blue into, you know, pillar, and then finally into the bomb site, or you go from freezer and you try and take in towards laundry. 2 options, 2 avenues you can go down. Taking blue and pillar is a lot tougher in the beginning. You know, you need a lot of utility to get set up, but the execute has a bigger payoff. Whereas for laundry and freezer, very easy to take control, but the execute, much more difficult. That's the way that Oregon plays out. They've went for a hard opening and an easier closeout. So how well can they do with this tough opening with all this utility you have to burn through? Many guns pointed towards their direction as well. Looks if they're going to use the Ying as their option.
Quite possibly the Ying can be used to push these back stairs, but no one's going to be there. So the Candela charges arguably are going to be wasted, although it has done something to push the defenders out to a different location. Interestingly, no one pushing on this attack from the freezer. And Zeosh in quite a dangerous position. He's inside of Attic. He's got the chance at a flank if he should so wish. 2 impact grenades means he's got a nice easy exit out of Attic as well, if he does choose to get aggressive later on into the round. Once these attackers have got themselves a little bit more established and locked into firefights, he could pick quite the nice time to strike here. 6-9 opening the account with a nice kill onto J-Ash, traded out pretty much instantly as the C4 toss swings and hits. Look at those kills stacking up for Renji here. It's surely only going to be a matter of time. It's a 1 versus 3. Zeosh tries for the rotate, but is not successful. Navarre not got a great deal of health to speak of, but finds 2. Still very doable now, and so much time left remaining. 1 Ying Candela, which is going to get deployed now over the stack, and that's going to allow him to recover the diffuser. He's now going to make a decision. Does he push on through without the intel, or does he try and drone? Looks as though he's maybe just going to try and smoke off the area, potentially get the plant down. He does know where one of the defenders is located. Now getting himself lost in the smoke. He could find himself in a sticky engagement. He doesn't recognize the player in the corner. Shenji finishes things off for Renji. It could have been a very different round indeed had Navarre got his way.
Tough for them to really take control fully of what they wanted. A C4 in electrical, scary thing to deal with, and as we've seen, it garnered them kills that they so needed to get. Renji back up onto the saddle, and now they're away. 2-1. They're off to. Now we look at their kids again. This has not worked for them. Both times. They have tried different avenues. They've tried heavy roam games. They've tried to sit on site. Where do they go now? One area that has been, I think, very neglected. Neglected? Is that? Wait. Neglect. I'm having a bit of a malfunction.
Neglected.
Neglected. There we go. And I said...
Neglected. With a D.
They have not cared, as I throw out my trusty thesaurus, they've not cared about, like, the attic side. I think if I am Renji, I play towards attic. I go very, very heavy towards attic.
Are you alright, Demo?
I think I said it right, but I doubted myself and I started messing up.
Just turn yourself on and off again.
I don't know, it's a weird word for me.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, in true fashion for these two teams, we're seeing the same 2 bomb sites used so far. Albeit we are only in round number 4, but still a good deal of the way into Renji's defensive phase. As you say, I think you're right, Demo. A bit of attention paid toward attic here could pay some dividends. Because it's so far been quite a neglected area.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Rub it in. That's it. Salt in the wounds. Salt in the wounds.
You're welcome.
That's it.
There's a chance that you could gain a little bit of entry in through that point. It's such a popular place to attack from as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're arguably seeing quite an unorthodox push.
Yeah,
no focused primarily through master bedroom.
Currently on the old window by 51, which is surprising to see. Don't really know what he's up to on the window, 6-9. Maybe looking for like a call out. You know, if they get some drones in the bomb site, then they see, oh, there's one here. Bash the window, dead. That could be an option, but I mean, it is risky playing. Obviously, Classroom is below that, which you can just jump out and dead. Oh, Jay, was that a quick peek? Got a kill? Oh, down White. He quick peeked White and he got a kill with the SMG. Bubble.
GG's. 6-9 locked into the window angle here as Navarre this time, instead of going from that armory side, is going to go from big window, but he's going to get punished by Zeosh. Zeosh constantly a player that steps up for Renji when it counts, and taking out the Ying there is going to do a good number. Not only to alleviate the pressure being put on from that big window, but to remove those Candelas and further that man advantage. This is almost certainly now a round that has to go in Renji's favor, with only a minute remaining and still White Tigers struggling to find that opening kill.
6-9. Believe eliminate utility, primarily that Banshee. There goes, oh, nice one from Wino. Just sees the feet and gets the kill, and Zeosh has to go against him now, and oh, that is well predicted. Very well predicted by Zeosh. And yeah, Renji, they've got this one under wraps. 6-9, the last one up, as Nemo's been eliminated. He's down in the same corridor as all his teammates were. 6-9 pushing. He's dead as well.
Much needed round there for Renji, just showing that they needed to switch things up a little bit before taking it back upstairs to dorms. Now they have a decision to make, sorry. They've got to go somewhere else, and that somewhere else is going to be kitchen and dining. All square at 2 rounds apiece. It's the game that we expected it to be with these two sides. They've been going back and forward all evening. Interestingly, Demo, Nemo's still struggling to find a kill in this first opening 4 rounds.
Yeah, it is strange to see. Again, consistency is something I have to keep bringing back to the topic. You need to be consistent. I think consistency is what separates good teams from great teams. If you look across the board of professional teams, one thing you can always say is that they're consistent with how they play.
I mean, that's the kicker, isn't it? You've got to be consistent. There's no room for error. There's no room for, you know, being being half pregnant, you've got to be in a position where you can go out there and perform time and time again, and that's not something that we've seen necessarily from these two sides this evening in its droves. We've seen player tendency, and we've seen certain players that are able to repeat similar things game after game, but we've not really seen that solid consistency out of any one of these players so far. I think maybe the person that's got the nearest is potentially Ziosh. He's usually been better, more often than not. But even still, there's been moments where you've been a little bit like, "Ooh, that was a difficult position that he found himself in."
So we move into our tertiary bomb site for Renji. This is their third now to go to. It's going to be the dining room, which probably my favorite bomb site out of the entire map. I think this is the best one in my opinion. Reason why is I think it gives the defenders much more room to maneuver in. It's much more open. If you look at kids, it is very, very claustrophobic. You don't have a lot of room to work with. For this, however, you have a lot of avenues you can go down. I think Shower's hallway, where you can walk down in the small tower, is a flank that is so undervalued by attackers that they don't even watch it. But whenever it goes down there, we have seen 2Ks, we have seen 3Ks, we have seen rounds be decided on somebody walking down that hallway. Attackers need to put more prevalence on that area, because it is the most crucial point, in my opinion, of any defense in this bomb site.
Ziosh finding himself in a bit of a tough spot there as drones are going to start flooding on through. Does get the impact trick off, which is going to give him a little bit of surety at the halfway point in the round. It isn't a bad time for him to be enabling that wall to stay closed for a little bit longer. Nade's going to get tossed on him, but he does have utility to keep himself safe. Also, with the option of rotating out of that position. Ace charges instead now being deployed onto the dining wall, as Ziosh is freed up essentially. You can now no longer worry and just keep an eye out for any feet or potentially time a rotate correctly.
Minute to go, walls open. Shower, though, not in their possession as of yet, and that is the big worry for the attackers, is taking control of Shower. If you try and push in without Shower control, just a quick peek around is enough to destroy your entire attack. Obviously, for Dining, it's all about getting that diffuser down. I'm sure the smokes will come in, and yes, they will. And oh, look at this. Nemo, he pushes in deep into the bomb site under the cover of the smoke. Ziosh is right beside him. Does he not know? Does he not know he's right beside him? Even impacts him as well. The diffuser gets planted. Ziosh was none the wiser. However, the retake comes in, and now it's a 1v4. Necessarily, it is a 1v3. Now into a 1v2. Senji, though, has been picked back up. It's a 1v3 again for the defender. 6-9 on the small tower stairs. Diffuser long arming it. That's an easy counter defuse for Ziosh. And 6-9, he's sitting here thinking, oh, well, that just happened.
Impactless frag for 6-9 to close things out. Ziosh, we mentioned him at the start of the round, and he has delivered in round number 5 there for his team. Finally, Renji taking the lead in this fixture, 3 rounds to 2, 1 round left of their defensive phase, and they're set to go reasonably well. They didn't have the best of starts here on Oregon. We were expecting them to win a little bit more upstairs in dorms. Instead, they're going to choose to go down to laundry room and supply, a side that they won quite well in the previous round. I believe it was round number 3. They come down to a 2 versus 1. But before that, I think it was a 4 versus 1. And we did see some pretty huge plays coming out of Navarre to level it down to 2 versus 1, but it wasn't enough in the end, and Renji still came out with that round win. If they're able to go 4-2 here, they give themselves a bit of an easier time when they switch over onto the attack.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
This is the final round, of course, of the half. Defense for Renji will come to a close after this basement, and then will White Tigers pull it together on their attack. This has been the 3rd round in a row that they have lost, so very similar to what happened on Cafe, is where they just have these strings of rounds after rounds which don't go their way. And the French side, Renji, they have that momentum. Honestly, French and Russians with momentum behind them are a terrifying principle. We have, I believe, 5 French teams and 1 Russian team for this season.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, we've got a lot of representation from mainland
Attackers
Europe
are moving out to
in
locate
this
the bomb.
season of CCS, which is always great to see, and gives you and I, Demo, a bit of an opportunity to see what else is out there beyond, you know, the stuff that we're used to seeing inside of our own national league.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're not going to come close to the national leagues. Come on, we all know this British power and all that stuff. You know, they all thought that the Dutch and the French were going to beat us in CL. Well, well, well. How the turntables have turned. Have you died?
No, not yet, Demo.
Not yet.
I'm only 27, buddy.
I mean, you could be Tim. Is he taking the pills for the heart yet? See on them? You never know. You never know what could happen. You just don't. Front push.
A different approach here.
Didn't expect this one to come out. Like I said, easier to take, harder to pull off. White Tigers have not been the greatest team in terms of executing. I think they showed us that in their kitchen attack. They need to play out of their skin for this round because this could be a decider one. You know, you need to go at least 3-3 here if you want to really have a good shot. And whenever Renji, they have those rounds behind them, it's gonna be tough. It really is.
Fletcher's got himself into freeze this time. This is an area of the map that we didn't see touched at all by the attackers in the previous attempt at this site in round number 3. He's met with quite a bit of utility, 2 ADSs and a Goyo shield. It's going to take a heck of a lot of burning. I think Fletcher's realised that. Unable to get a drone onto it either as Shenzi joins the fray, but 6ix9ine providing a bit of cover. Can he hit his shots? No, he only gets chip damage through. Shenzi, however, he is able to hit his shots and finds a C4 over onto Nemo. And Toro with a C4 in return is going to find Flutch. Nice 2 kills there, putting the C4s to fantastic use on the side of Renji. They're looking to take this round and take things 4-2.
Yeah, White Tigers. 3v5. There has been a bit of utility used by the defenders, but still plenty of guns that goes in their side. And oh, what's happened here? Somehow Ueno has managed to sneak his way into the backside and has eliminated one. Toro getting flamed by his own shields, and a quick peek around from Jay. He comes in from behind. Now it's a 2v3. Habana looking to push in towards Laundry as Ash is on the other side, not supporting the Habana whatsoever. They're so separated from one another, and somehow Habana wins that. How has Jaeger not pulled off that kill? 6ix9ine swings in from pillar. Oh, the missed shot to the Vector. White Tigers out of nowhere with a round that they had no right winning.
Navarre coming in big again in those dying few seconds. He was last alive in round number 3 when we saw Laundry, and he was last alive along with 6ix9ine there, and 6ix9ine delivering this time on attack. We've not seen him have the best of days so far. He started off very strong, but he's going to be happy with that round, and that in itself could be a huge factor in who wins this fixture. From what we've seen so far, it really has just been 1 or 2 attacking rounds won have been enough to shift, and for the that team that gets those rounds to take it all the way. Coming out at an equal 3-3, I think that White Tigers are going to be very pleased with that one, and they've still got Nemo sitting there on 0 kills. As soon as he starts to ramp himself up as well, they could very well end up with a result here on Oregon.
Oh. 3-3, which is, I believe, the first time we actually have an even split in this best of 3. We've seen 4-2, 4-2. Now we have all square. White Tigers on the defense. How are they going to go? Looking at the attack, I see a BB, which is very operator. What is there to say about Blackbeard? Obviously, at one point was the strongest operator in the game. You can't deny that with an 850 HP shield. Damn right, you were good. But since then, what kind of role does he fit? His gadget only helps himself. His gadget it's not really that flashy. You know, you have a shield on a gun. That's it. It stops a bullet. What else does he bring to the table? Windows, obviously. Is
Attackers
this
are
the
moving
biggest
out to
window map?
locate a bomb
No.
and defuse it.
Only area I can see their Blackbeard playing is just a double window, and that's it.
I love a bit of Blackbeard demo. I'm not afraid.
Of course you would, and you're gold free.
Honestly, I hate to admit it. I don't even think I've been ranked this season.
Joke.
I think I've got 3 games.
Joke, joke, joke.
Reload!
I've been too busy winning community nights demo.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm always wondered who is better between you or Tim.
Oh, it's me without a shadow of a doubt. We proved that in the community night where I beat him. And then I had a community night where I beat him. I'm just waiting for me and you to face off against each other because I think we'd like pull together a decent team. I'd go all out against you as well. I'd be asking like pros and stuff.
No, I'd get the pros.
Yeah, well, I'd ask him as well.
I'd get Quadsy. I'd get Quadsy.
Yeah,
Wow, send for Quadsy. Unbelievable.
I'm not sending for anyone. I'm just saying you can have him.
Unreal.
I've never spoken to Quadsy. I'm not in Quadsy's DM, but
I mean, is this why you'd play your Blackbeard on the double window? Do you think he can make some good work out of this?
You know, it's got potential. I think I'd be crouch walking if I was the Blackbeard. I'd be looking to make some sort of play, but the double window is somewhere that we can see pressure applied. Something I would be very conscious of, though, is the old trick that we saw Ziosh pull. And that's running out upstairs of small office. Of course, she's very susceptible to that, especially if there's a little bit of intel, perhaps, and obviously Blackbeard on a window. That's as much intel as you need. Notorious could do to watch himself here. He's getting wiggle peeked, and it does look as though they are trying to waste his time there and get him confident in peeking. Navarre finding himself full white flashes. No jumping yet from Notorious, but potential for some vertical pressure as well.
This is the thing with Blackbeard. He just creates that constant entity that is just hovering over you that you know you cannot challenge. He has that shield. Essentially now, though, he's stuck. He can't move, and there goes the nades and the ass charges, everything, and goes into the clutches of the Blackbeard. It worked out well for them.
6ix9ine possibly going to get revived here. Flutch doing business on the other side, leveling things out at 4 men apiece. The wubble goes off, but Notorious decides better. He's going to slip himself on out and continue just to hold the angle onto the window. Then it's going to be the Carvana that jumps on through and tries to get that diffuser down. Blackbeard comes in as well, trying to do a little bit with the Maestro turret, but it seems as though that diffuser will not be successful. As RENJICHIMU, well, they were really trying to force that, but they didn't have much other option. Seconds left remaining. It's now Notorious to get that diffuser planted. Has he got enough health to do so before the overheat turret? The answer is no. Time is on 0-0. Ziosh now going to be getting it down. The attackers, they are going to take that round. How on earth? I know we had a lot of players down, but you're in the Maestro camera. You have to be a little bit quicker than that, especially when there's someone ready and waiting to pick that diffuser up and just extend the timer.
He literally must have just died and picked up the diffuser straight away and held it. Like, that is like VAR millisecond stuff that we're dealing with. Don't know how they won that round, but they did. These rounds, man, have been bonkers. And Funkers isn't even playing.
6ix9ine stepped up, though. 9 kills, 4 deaths. Doing a lot better than we've seen him do in previous games. I think Nemo was still looking for a little bit of something out of him on the side of the old TIGERZ. It's a difficult one to call. That isn't a round the attackers have any business winning, but in the heat of the moment, I mean, I saw the timer on 0-0, and it was obviously in that tick, in that millisecond, that was it Shenji that picked the diffuser up? In the flurry, I'm not even that sure.
Was it Jay?
Potentially.
I think it might have been Jay. Yeah, I want to say it was Jay, because obviously they lost. It was Vanna Blackbeard, who both died to the Maestro turret. Toro died somewhere else, and I'm pretty sure it was Jay picked it up.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
That's what I think anyway.
At any rate, Renji are going to be pleased. They've managed to clutch a round out on attack, which is very crucial indeed. And on the side of the White Tigers, we're going to be a little bit disheartened because they didn't do a terrible job. They did a very good job of denying the plant. They had a good read of where it was going to come through. And they had a lot of utilities to be able to deal with it. All I would maybe say is a little bit more vertical pressure. Had they had someone downstairs with a C4 or a shotgun or some means of denying that plant that way, that would have worked exceptionally well as well. And you're potentially a little bit safer than a Maestro on site, just dipping in and out of cameras. But hindsight is a wonderful thing, and White Tigers are surely going to be looking toward this round and to try and correct some of those mistakes. This time, interestingly, they are playing a Malusi on the basement level with a C4 in hand. The biggest question really is how long can that Malusi survive for, because it looks as though Renji are slightly aware. J Ash just keeping an eye on those rear stage stairs. If it's not doing anything, it's eating up time now.
A bomb has been located.
Zeosh below with the Ash. Common thing for Ash to do is go in by herself, utilize the obviously breaching rounds that you get at your disposal. So no real surprise to see how they're going to play it out. Roamer below, 2 roamers below for that, and Jay, he's gone. So they've extended downstairs, which it's very strange to see teams hunt roamers on an upstairs whenever they're in basement downstairs. Very, very strange to see. Don't really know why they went for that. What they could have done is essentially push in from wherever they want to go from, which seems to be, again, this double window White Stairs take, and just hold the flanks. Very, very easy to do, especially whenever you have a Nomad. Toro's just jumped in.
Zeosh finds one onto Navarre, and Shenji made his way on into tight and looking to get the diffuser down straight away. Toxic Babe canister is going to get deployed, but it isn't in the correct location. C4 from below, that's what we were after, Flutch. That's going to secure the kill and render the diffuser useless on the ground. Zeosh picks up a double for his troubles, but Flutch responds in kind. 3 versus 2 now. Zeosh gets taken out of the picture. Winnow coming in with a nice swing there. All down to Notorious on the Blackbeard. A sliver of health to speak of and 30 seconds to stay alive, recover the diffuser, or gain all of these final kills. It's very unlikely from this position that he's going to be able to make something happen. He may take one with him, but not even. Nemo comes up, trumps with the SMG-11 and finds the kill for the White Tigers, leveling things out once again at 4 rounds apiece.
Again, Ollie, one of those rounds where we just look at White Tigers and think, why? It's an upstairs. First of all, you're trying to attack roamers in basement with 1 person, and that's it. Strange. Second off, you're trying to attack kids by only taking double window and White. Doesn't work. It's all over the place. It really is. This isn't like your standard game. And I'm just very confused. They're not taken into attic at all, which is so surprising.
It is interesting. Attic is a staple from what we see in, you know, a lot of levels of siege of somewhere to push, and there's usually a humongous utility exchange that goes down there, albeit when Wamai is available. But even without Wamai, it should make Attic even more viable to take.
Yeah.
Because you've not got the ability to sit there behind the little half
No one's going to ban the trick.
Frisbees into the roof where nobody can see them. As an attacker, it should be very bread and butter. You should be straight on in there. And it's not something we're seeing either of these teams really go for.
They've both went for, like, the strangest attacks that we can think of. I mean, we've seen, like, a laundry freezer take, which, granted, did win for White Tigers,
5 seconds to go.
but just shouldn't have at the same time.
Attackers locate.
I don't know, man. It's a weird game. Maybe this is how Siege is supposed to play, and we're just too used to the norm. Who knows?
Stuck in the Matrix, maybe?
Perhaps.
Deploying razor wire.
Bit of drone work going out now from Renji as they're looking to establish a little bit of control. I'm sure they're going to find it very freely, as the only player offsite is Flutch. All the way over in small office. Looking for a peek, but probably doesn't really want to give himself away too much. He's pretty happy to just flood in when necessary, let the attackers gain a bit of comfortableness inside of that upstairs, and look to try and apply some pressure. The only problem he's going to come up against is the Nomad, of course, but there's only so many air jabs that can be deployed, and there's multiple ways for Clutch to navigate the map.
Flutchwagon, he's in a bit of a roam game and does get droned out. Granted, with Oregon, I think it's an okay roam map. There is areas where you can get cut off very. That was kind of, I think, to tear roams from actually beefing. Just trying to hold them as well as they can. I like the clash pick as well. Kind of coming back to what I said in Cafe. Mira isn't there. Oh. Oh. Oh.
A bomb has been located.
That get the cleaners in. We've got a mess to clean up. Because that was filthy.
Toro is the mess and Flutchwagon is the culprit. He was the one that was able to get the kill, but Ziosh responds. 4 versus 4 now as the site pressure is required. Jayash now looking to aggressively push his way on through. He's likely to come up head-to-head against the Clash very shortly. How poetic if it was Jayash that played the Clash over on Cafe, but instead Nemo is going to be able to find a couple of kills for his trouble. Gets 2 on in the site before getting shut down by 6-9. 2 versus 3 with about 35 seconds left. It's going to be a tough round here for White Tigers to hold on, but they have the means to do so.
Clash staying alive right now. Listen to the BGs as she now creeps in towards the B-bomb site and looks towards the electrical room, peers away and finds 1, finds 2, but no, can't get the 3rd. Renji, they clean up house. Blackbeard's, honestly, Blackbeard really saving the round there with that shield.
Yeah, BB doing some bits there as White Tigers, they had all the means to confirm that round. They had the Clash in the, in the dying seconds. That's a very powerful operator to behold, but it wasn't enough. The Blackbeard was, proven to be the superior shield in that circumstance. Of course, being able to fire back at the same time as being relatively well protected, and that was enough to be the difference maker. 1 round away from match point now for Renji. Sitting at 5-4. They're going to look for to try and convert this. I mean, there's not been a lot in between these two teams tonight, Demo. They've been very well stacked up against each other. I think out of all the fixtures that we could have had for an opener for this round of CCS, this is probably the best one.
$5-4 for Renji. This Blackbeard again being brought to the table. Blackbeard is a strong operator. I mean, in the rank stacks, always gets banned as a permaban. But in competitive play, especially in this meta, I just don't get what value he brings. Like, where's the Sledge? Isn't he a guy that you'd kind of want on your team?
I'm not sure if I want the Sledge on my team or not. I think in this circumstance on Oregon, there's not a lot of deal for soft destruction, so you don't necessarily,
Gotta reload.
But the nades
provides. But you do get the nades, but you get the nades in other forms. You can get the nades in the form of the E-armor, and that's something that we've seen work quite well tonight.
I mean, they have 12 flashbangs, so that's like an ungodly amount that we very rarely see.
Yeah, I mean, you've not really got any argument there. I mean, there's no Wamai. I think, has anybody told Renji that there is no Wamai being played? Because they don't need that many flashbangs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take the extra set of nades. Like, sack off the Blackbeard. You don't need them. You know, obviously you need the other ones as well. Now they're going to be dealing with a Kaid on the hatch, though, which is obviously going to be a big issue for Habana that they're bringing. Switched off the Ace, surprisingly. Actually, maybe you want the Ace as well, because an Ace with smokes on this bomb site is very, very strong to cover off the corridors.
Yeah, you certainly need some sort of a plan of executing for this, and that's why I quite like a Ying for this bomb site, Demo, because it gives you that brute force.
White Tigers had a good Ying?
Yeah, they had a great Ying. Whether you're going into tarps or whether you're trying to clear out pillars, whatever you're trying to do, usually you find yourself being able to do it with a Ying. Flutch is finding quite a lot of bullets there, as he seems to be a bit of a magnet for them this round. Inside of Attic, trying to play his extended roam game, but this time getting shut down a little bit sooner. Hatches now starting to be opened as Notorious is looking to push on through tarps. As Flutch has retreated, still wasting a good deal of time and causing Toro to do the manual work that the air jabs can do oh so well, and that is watch angles as opposed to just deploying the air jabs and waiting. A little bit of option now for these attackers to push on through the backside as we enter the final minute. As Flutch has rotated his way all the way down Freezer, ready for this final firefight.
Havana opens up that window, looks into the bomb site. So right now, if I'm looking at the way Renji have set up, they're looking to pounce from the back as well. Look where the Iana is. This is going to catch White Tigers out, I think, very heavily. I don't think Wino is ready for this, and as soon as Wino drops, there's going to be an onslaught that will follow, and here it comes. Another one will fall. It's Blackbeard who picks up that kill, pushing in towards Blue. We still have that pressure that Yana brings. Another one for Blackbeard. Zeosh on the Ash finds one, and now it's just a 1v4 that Kine has to deal with. So many angles you have to watch out for into Freezer. Now finds another one though, granted, and still has 3 more to go. Diffuser planted though right on the electrical doorway. C4 gone also. How is he going to pull this one off? Pre-firing now. Panic is up on set onto his mind. And Zeosh picks up the remains.
Navarro's looked good for a clutch a couple of times tonight. We've seen him the last man standing. We've seen him picking up a couple of kills and just struggling to get the remainder. Well, that round was a bit of a step too far for him even to pick up more than 2. As it was such a good execute from Renji. Nice plant as well, propelling them onto a match point, and it really looks at this point as though the White Tigers have just lost a little bit of momentum. Not able to keep pace with Renji. And Nemo. Well, what can we say about poor old Nemo? I think his small fin must be hurting him here on Oregon demo, because 1 kill, 8
Where's
deaths.
Gil?
It's not the Nemo.
Gil needs to show him how to swim. Where's Gil? Where is he?
Isn't Gil the Dory? That's the one.
Well, no, Dory's the one who goes with Marlin. Gil's the one. Do you know that he's like the leader fish in the fish tank?
Oh, right, in the dentists. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Shark bait.
Shark bait hoo-ha.
I'm really glad that you did the hoo-has. I was actually set up for you, so well done. Good job.
Honestly, Demo, you just you set them up, I'll knock them in. I did like a little home run animation.
That could be taken out of context so much.
Attackers need to locate.
No, it's like it's saying. It's like you set them up, I'll knock them in. It's like you're crossing the ball over from the corner. And
I'm the playmaker.
I'm
so
volleying it into the top right.
I am the Xavi, and you are the Messi.
Is that a phrase, a football phrase? The top right?
What?
Is that not where you aim? The top right corner?
No, what, top ends?
Top bag?
The onion bag.
It's only been one best of 3 and we're already losing.
I was about to
lines.
say, it's now 10 o'clock and we still have another best of 3 to go.
5 seconds left.
I saw on the Twitter announcement that we're actually getting replaced after this
Attackers are
broadcast.
moving
So
out.
did I, and I
Locate a
was
bomb,
like,
defuse it.
surprised. I mean, the way it's going,
I tell
Dino and
you
Silver,
what,
well, they can still tag in, mate. You know,
I'm
they
keen
can
for
still
that
be
now.
here.
I don't know if that's an option, but I'm keen.
And the fact that it's going to still go on for another half an hour if it gets to OT is also beyond me.
Spice.
Oh, my word.
What are you drinking at the minute, Demo?
Water.
Stay hydrated, people.
Yep.
Ooh.
Vigil, my operator of choice, trying to get a little bit frisky in towards the front door. However, Melissa's gone. Melissa's out of here. Downed. Flutchwagon. Nowhere to go. That's a dead Flutchwagon. So, already, great start from Renji. You've eliminated 1 roamer who hasn't been able to use the C4. Minutes already gone. Still 2 minutes to go to set up your take. Phenomenal. You know there's a Vigil also lurking, which is great information. Now you just have to wait for White Tigers just to get a little bit itchy. I mean, that's one thing about White Tigers I will say is that they're not the most patient team. I think they rush things. And I think especially with the roam game, they kind of strike at the wrong time.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Just a bit too predictable as well, Demo. Like, Fletcher's played the same position for 3 rounds in a row, and it hasn't paid him many dividends. You know, sure, he's wasted a good deal of time, but Renji really seemed to be in their stride here. We've got J Ash pushing his way off, going to pick up a second on the round already. The nails are being hammered into the coffin at this point in time for White Tigers. And it is a big shame because they've had a good series up to this point, but it's just looking very, very difficult for them from here on out. Nemo, unlikely to get revived in the position he's in, and he's going to get finished off by Zeosh. This could be it for Renji, and they're going to be the first team to win the CCS Winners Quarter-Finals. We've got the next minute to find out. Currently, they're sat on match point. They've already won Cafe. They lost Theme Park narrowly. White Tigers have put up a great fight, but at this point in time, it's looking like we could see Renji going flawless. Another kill to the good, and it will be a flawless round for Renji. They're going to be locked in as our winners in this first best of 3 this evening. What a fantastic fixture we've seen there, Demo.
Yeah, an absolute belter of a series. Is, I think for both sides, really up in the air. Could have went, I don't know which direction. This time, though, went to Renji's direction. I'm sure they'll be happy with that.
So that'll wrap up the broadcast for us here this evening. Thanks to Demo and X for a fantastic night of casting for us, albeit a long night. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week.